Hey guys, and welcome to the TEC Gauntlet Season 1 powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. Today is going to be the first day of the tournament. We're very excited to see you. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host, and joining me on the analyst desk is going to be analyst CA and caster Red Bro. CA, how are you feeling about today? It's the beginning of the tournament.
Oh, I'm really excited. Like today's matches, I feel like are going to be a litmus test for us to really judge what we can expect from these teams going into the entire group stage. And I'm excited to see which ones really come out swinging.
All right, how are you feeling today, Red Bro?
Really excited. It's the first day of the gauntlet, and I'm really excited to see what these teams bring to the table today.
All right, so this is the first half. There will be a match between True Rippers and KUCH B. But first, we're going to take a quick look at the group standings from Group A and Group B. We did a little bit of a live group draw 2 days ago, and this was the outcome. So you can see Group A, all the different groups, but what we're going to focus on in particular today is Group B, because the upcoming match, it is between True Rippers up there number 1 and against KUCH B number 8. Now this is not a ranking um from number 1 to 8 on this particular screen. It's not a ranking, it's just the 8 teams in that specific group. Now, CA, do refresh our memories a little bit. What are you thinking about both these groups? Like, how are they coming off? How do you think it's going to go throughout the course of the gauntlet? Because right now it's the top 16.
So I'll start off with Group A and end off with Group B since that's what we're going to be watching today. For me, Group A, it's all about like a mystery, trying to understand a lot of these dark horse teams. Like you have teams like Simple, Inazuma, even Tempest. Like these teams can really surprise the more known teams, and that's what Group A is. They're more clearer distinctions, yet there is a mystery around every single team and how they will perform. Group B, it's much more weighted. Like it's supposed to be the group of death. So these teams that we're going to be watching today, they have that expectation on them. They need to perform to the level we want them to, and only then it really gives you the feeling of the group of death.
All right. What are you feeling about both the groups in particular, Ripro?
I feel like I echo CA in the fact that Group A is one of those clusters of teams that really has the potential to create new legends out of it. Group B, on the other hand, we have a lot of heavyweights on the name of God, like Samurai and everything. So it's gonna be a huge knockout in that group as well. So I'm really excited to see both the sets of teams actually duking it out and trying to become the best in their respective groups.
All right, so let's pay a little bit more of attention onto Group B. Let's take a closer look at all the teams that are in this particular group. So here it is. Group B standings, and we've got True Rippers there. So you see, there are no wins, no losses, because like we mentioned, right? Today is the first day, the beginning of the top 16. These teams are going to go head to head, and this is where the gauntlet gets super juicy. Previously, we were streaming matches and all, those were the qualifiers. And the fact that these are the top 16 out of the whole South Asian region, it's just crazy to me. So knowing that True Rippers and KUCH B will be playing today, CA, are there any teams in particular from this group that you feel might be a force to be reckoned with?
I mean, there are the obvious names like this Velocity, this Force One, there's Enigma. These are teams you know very well and know they are supposed to bring out the bang. But there are these teams that are just slightly less consistent, but just as explosive in the esports team, ROG Academy and True Rippers, who we're seeing today. The team True Rippers, it's supposed to be a collection of just amazing talents from our region. The thing we've never seen from them, though, is continued consistency. Now, that's what this group stage offers them a chance to do, and you've got to start off right, especially against a team like KUCH B, who coming into the group stage are a bit of dark horse. They've just come together just this tournament, so not many teams know them very well, and therefore they're the best contenders to pull off an upset.
All right, so you can see that today's matchup, it will be True Rippers versus KUCH B. Do stick around. We will have a second half later kicking off at 7:30 IST. So remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. All right, so let's talk about the two teams that will be playing right here, right now. True Rippers, off the top of your head, Rip Bro, what kind of impression does this team give you?
Well, looking at their team name and knowing very little about their entire team style, I feel like one of the things that you want to do as a new team entering a brand new tournament, coming straight out, fresh out the qualifiers, is to make a good impression on the rest of the teams in your particular group. So they're going to be looking to make that sort of an impression in this particular game. So as Cia said, it's going to be a litmus test for all these teams in the Group B stage because they're stuck with a lot of heavyweights here. So coming into this game, they have a lot to prove, and it's going to be up to this game to set the precedent, set the foundation of what we're going to be coming to expect from them in the subsequent games.
All right, so let's just pull up some stats from True Rippers. Let's have a quick look at who's in this particular team. Now, when it comes to True Rippers, that one name that you're going to think about, it is going to be Paradox. But, Paradox doesn't go anywhere without his buddies. And there you see Crosshair, Relic, One Tap God, Master, CA. What are your thoughts here looking at all 5 of these players just lined up together?
I mean, it's exactly the fact that these players are insanely talented. They've displayed moments which describe them as the next generation of the big time players in our region. They have the capability to become that, and that's why they've come together in this particular iteration of the team they're in to really sort of be able to add to each other's strengths and come through really strong as a unit towards the end. We haven't seen many examples, but when we do see them just click, the way they play is exactly descriptive of their name. They are quick, they're efficient, and they're very clean with how they approach the game. And that's exactly what comes to mind when I think of Paradox. So I'm excited to see how he especially comes out rising with his team. Like, I think this is the perfect moment for him to shine.
All right, and mentioning Paradox, let's just pull up. We have a little bit of a player spotlight. So every time we talk about a team, there will be one particular player that we'll shine some light on, and it changes as the weeks go on. So this is going to help you guys understand the players a little bit better. But Paradox, when you look at True Rippers, what comes to mind for us at least? We've been casting these matches throughout the course of time with the Esports Club. Paradox has been in different teams, different names, but right now coming into the Gauntlet, 52 lakh prize pool. This tournament is just huge, and Paradox able to have that kind of stats from the qualifiers is just nuts. Ripro, let us know what you think about Paradox here.
Well, the star-studded team that is coming up, like the next generation team that is coming up, Team Rippers, Paradox is going to be leading the charge here. Looking at his statistics, you have a very good KD ratio with an average combat score of 300. We're going to be looking to him to make the big plays and make those entry frags into the site and really facilitating that success for his team. So he's going to be definitely the player to watch, and we're going to be keeping a very close eye on him throughout the entire series today.
All right, so for True Rippers, the hunt begins, and will they be able to reap what they deserve? Them as a team, there's a lot for them to prove, like you guys mentioned. So True Rippers, I'm looking forward to what kind of performance they will be pulling out. Now, on to the next team. It's going to be KUCH from anything to something. What a team! They defied so many expectations. So many. I felt that a lot of people had a set idea on how they're like, but they managed to reach the top 16, and there you see them. Every player from KUCH, and it's pretty interesting. Mel 16K, she is part of that team, and I think it goes without saying, right? There has not been a lot of women in particular in this particular scene. So Mel being able to step up, I do believe that she's an inspiration for many. But here, KUCH, they wouldn't be right here if it weren't for the collective effort of each of the team members. CA, what are your thoughts on this particular team?
I mean, it's exactly as you said. It's for them. It's all been about defying their expectations, all the way to the top. And now in the group stage, in the group that is the very stacked group for them, it's actually beneficial for them, in my opinion, because as a newer team, it gives them a moment to really grind their stone against the very best and learn from the process. It's just about how you get going. If you can start your stride off on the right way, it gives you a lot of momentum and confidence that really carries through in the rest of the group stage for you. And I think for a team like KUCH especially, that doesn't necessarily have the experience but has a ton of talent, that momentum is going to be very, very important. So if they can start off today right against True Rippers, it'd be amazing. And the player to do that, I think I'm looking at, is Pasha Sahil to make it happen.
All right, so let's bring up our player spotlight, and this time for KUCH, it's gonna be Pasha Sahil, 102 kills. What a madman! Ripro, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about how he's going to stack up towards Paradox as well, because both these players are known for playing Jet. It's going to be interesting to see how both these Jet's counterparts, they actually like clash against each other and how one tries to one up the other. So we have a little bit of a rivalry going into this game already, because both these players to watch, entry fraggers, Jet mains. I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring to the table.
All right, so we want to get the action started. Remember, you are watching the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. Now we have a little break right now. We're just going to show you 3 things you didn't know about me, featuring Mel 16K from KUCH. Stay tuned.
There's 3 things you didn't know about me. First thing is that I wanted to be a singer before I got into hardcore gaming. The second thing is that I am extremely introvert in real life. Unlike on streams, I'm not at all an extrovert. The third thing is that I run at my place before an official match to release my stress.
All right, interesting. Three things we didn't know about her, and it's really cool. Mel was most definitely one of the first few people that I met. She is insane, and it's about time that she kind of showed herself in the competitive scene, especially playing with KUCH. So True Rippers and KUCH, they'll be coming up very shortly, and on the casters desk, it's gonna be Rip Bro. You see him right here, as well as Aggressive. So do stay tuned. We're gonna kick off very soon, as after these messages.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you from the analyst desk for passing the mic on to us. It's gonna be your caster Aggressive. This time around, joined by Red Bro. He had to move around a little. He had to come from the analyst desk over to the caster desk. But welcome nonetheless. Let's go head over to the map video screen. The analysts have already talked about what we can expect coming out from this matchup. And Red Bro, I want your analysis. Who do you think could be the one to take it all away? Because I'm leaning a little bit more towards the side of KUCH, primarily because they're much more the underdogs in this.
Well, yeah, if you favor the underdogs, definitely you're gonna favor KUCH because of the fact that the first map that you see, it's on Ascent, and it's a real test for how a team plays in terms of its coordination, in terms of the strategies that they have. So it's gonna be like a very first showing of how well the team coordination is set up for both these teams, how the chemistry is going and everything. So for both these teams, it's gonna be that precursor to the events that's gonna come throughout the subsequent matches of the tournament. I'm gonna favor a little bit towards Team Ripper because of the fact that they've already shown in qualifiers that they can pack up punch, whereas KUCH they're a bit unproven on this side, so I'm leaning a bit more towards Ripper for this particular game. Looking at the picks that are aggressive, do you want to take us through those?
And the picks coming out for the side of Ascent, it is a little bit of a question mark because primarily just as soon as the picks went through, from the side of True Rippers, you can see why I'm a little bit I'm questioning what they wanted to go for. Yes, it's very important to go in for that Omen pickup. If you don't want to play that Astro, you want to be a little bit more aggressive when it comes down to your matchup. But at the same time, looking at the Raze and Jet, especially on the map of Ascent, when you consider the old meta coming on through, especially going up against the Phoenix and Astra, in my eyes, Red Bro, this could be a massive disadvantage because now you don't have the same form of utility to go up against an insurmountable amount of utility that the side of KUCH have. So right now, True Rippers, when it comes down to pure compositional basis, they're on a massive disadvantage.
I would say that because of the fact that Astra has been such an amazing meta pick throughout every single tournament. We've seen it in TEC, we've seen it in VCT. Every single tournament where we see Ascent being played and every team that is played in the pro scene, they picked up Astra. Not because of the fact that she can use those smokes in those positions in an instant, but because of the sheer amount of utility, as you mentioned, the gravity well, the concussion. Every single bit of her kit leads towards helping her team out with the utility, stopping attack pushes, clearing out choke points that the enemy team might be holding with judges or any sort of shotgun or even a Spectre. It just lends so much to a team that if you forgo that pick, you are playing at a disadvantage, and you need to cover that up with relentless aggression with the Omen pickup that you just picked up right now. So Shark Game, I'm going to have to look to see how he uses that utility of the Omen to circumvent these sorts of disadvantages.
The round starting on through Pasha. He's being so aggressive, and he's actually going to be able to find Relic down almost immediately. Relic, he was not expecting such an aggressive play, especially after Scammer spotted out Pasha. But Pasha's like, nah, I'm just going to hold my W key, and I'm just going to slowly but surely walk on forward. And Relic, he's not ready for it. First initial kill now going on down towards the side of KUCH. But at the same time, look at Shark Game's position. He's being so aggressive down from the back end. Pasha's gonna be able to find two before he finally goes on down. This is so massive. That's a 1-for-2 trade down already. And with everyone just going on down towards this A side, it's just gonna be an easy flank going on through. Chalk darts maybe coming on in down soon enough. But still, one tap guard holding down from the back end corner. Does get spotted out by the turret. And it seems as though things are slowed down very heavily. Going on down to this 3 versus 4 retake scenario from the back end. Sharkim tries to go in for a flag, but Juven smells him out and takes him down almost immediately. And things seem quite dark now already, Red Bro, for the side of True Rippers. They have nowhere to run. Shock darts coming in from the left, shock darts coming in from the right. Master's gonna be able to find out too, though. Maybe the difference maker is right here and then. Focus, he needs to jump all the way. The shots are not connecting. Master's gonna be able to take down another one. Will he be able to do it is the real question. Off to go in for the cap, but still be out. He's playing it so beautifully. And will there be enough time? It's the real question. I can't hold this down for long enough, but I don't think there will be enough. A beautiful play coming on down from the side of Masters, but the clock is just not on his side. That round, I just rolled it off like, hey, this one side of the half True Rippers. They have nowhere to run now. Shock darts coming down from the left, shock darts coming in from the right. Master's gonna be able to find out too, though. Maybe the difference maker is right here and then.
Had banked a lot of faith in Master at that point, getting two surprise headshot onto two members of KUCH after a convincing push on towards A site. Really, posing a bit of a question mark to the retake strategy of KUCH after they actually plant down the spike. The way that Master was able to circumvent that and just get towards two members and kill them off really quickly was just phenomenal aim coming out from him. Living up to his name right there with the one tap of the Sheriff through A main. Spots out the drone. It's not going to be enough to take him down. The information is going to be wasted, and they hold on to that. It looks to be that KUCH have picked up an expensive round here. They picked up the Spectres and the Phantom. Juven using that towards one tap God. Meow 16k. Crisp shot on towards A short. He's going to engage Master, and she's going to be able to take him down. Now pushing in towards A short areas. KUCH again taking side really convincingly. Is the retake strategy going to be up though? TR Relic does a cheeky shot through the Astra smoke on towards Juven. Shark Game using that aim towards Meow on A short. It's taken down dangerously low though. Trying to take down the turret before making that push on towards the mid side. The retake is on, but it's going to be a 2v3 situation. Make that 1v3.
With that 1v3 already. Shark Game, he's in a pretty tough spot. Maybe he could get one kill, but at the same time, Meow, she has her phone. She has his phone number, sorry, he can't even speak properly. Calls him up and just takes him one down already. 0-2 on the scorecard already, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, KUCH, they're on a pretty good streak coming on down forward. And with that, True Rippers, they need to step up massively because we all know for a fact if they lose out on this first initial buy round, it could just be all but over for them because True Rippers, previously when they were under the Rat Syndicate banner, they were a team purely based upon a lot of fast and heavy aggression, and when they had the snowball effect in their favor, they would be able to take a lot of the rounds off the board almost immediately. And if they're not able to do so right here and now, this could be a massive problem. But then gravity wall, just so beautiful, coming on down from the side of Pokies, but not really gonna get a lot of value. Stall out the first and immediate push that could be coming on down from the side of Masters, but that Pain Shell actually dealt a lot of damage going on down towards the side of Meow, and with that, they're gonna be quite scared to make that push happen just yet towards the A side, trying to see if they can find a tiny little bit of value at the bare least to see if they can make that push happen. But it seems as though there's not gonna be much going on down in their favor. The Paradoxes, he's holding a very aggressive angle of his own, but it seems as though all of the members of the side of KUCH, they want to make their way down towards this A side, and with that first initial reveal, one tap now, not being able to take that one out. Sharking coming in down from the sidelines, being able to take down Meow. But with that, it's a 4 versus 4 retake scenario coming on down soon enough with Pokies, but
KUCH, their attack has consistently impressed me over the last 2 rounds. Paradox taking down an unsuspecting Juve, taking down Bondef near that A main area. Is gonna remove 2 members of KUCH after that convincing retake strategy. Steer Paradox though, and Relic. Oh my goodness, the retake was fast and smooth. KUCH showing their strength in the attack, going on towards the side really well, using their utilities, using the Sova Recon Dart to spot out those players, holding those pocket areas in towards A site. Checking out green box, generators, everything. Using the gravity well to take out that cheeky peek from one tap god. Really well coordinated attack. They just can't seem to find their stride when the spike is just down. The first 2 rounds, a bit shaky. They had the advantage going into the second round with the weapons that they bought and carried forward with the credits from the first pistol round win. But right now that the weapon situation has equalized itself, now that both teams are on equal terms in terms of the credits and the weaponry power, it's time for True Rippers to show how they use that retake strategy against KUCH to get a few more rounds on the board. And KUCH, you see them adapting again. They're opting to go for a more mid-focused attack this time around instead of the A-focused round. So you have 3 members already pushing in through short with the drone. Shark Game's gonna get spotted out. He's not gonna get taken down though. Paradox opting to do a very risky push through the smoke. Master not gonna find anyone in that A main area at this point. Pasha Silas now gonna push up with his counterpart entry fragger Bond F towards that A short area. Garden Time's been in control. The gravity well's gonna be there. Oh my goodness, Shark Game. He caught in a very precarious situation with a paranoia in his hand. And now Master is gonna phase down 3 whole members pushing on towards the site. Not before going on to Pokies, no good though. And again, KUCH secure control of the site. The spike is gonna go down.
It's kind of sad coming down from the side of Shark Game. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna place my smoke. And the gravity well's like, nah, you ain't going anywhere. You're gonna come straight towards my team. A beautiful use of utility coming on down from the side of Pokies to set everything up for his team to make that first initial push happen. But look at the spike. The spike's out towards the side of B. This was such a massive bamboozle. They didn't even go in for a plan, but at the same time, they lost 1 member to say the very least. And there is still a lot of utility from the side of the Cypher holding it down from the back end. But making that push happen already, and it seems as though coming on down from the side of True Rippers, they need to go in for a 3 versus 3 retake scenario. But with the lockdown still present from the side of Meow, this could be a very hard retake to say the very least. The plan has already gone through and so much time already being wasted, but still a lot of forward positions can be taken from the side of True Rippers. They can clear every single angle, and they can know for a fact that every single member is now holding down from inside of the side. With the first initial push already going on through 2 satchels in hand for the side of one tap god, he does use the first initial one. Take aggressive exam from the front end, but Juve with a shotgun kill on the Paradoxes and Meow with 2 headshots to take down a couple more. A beautiful play coming on down from the side of KUCH, ladies and gentlemen. 1 and 3 on the scorecards already. And honestly, that bamboozle was a massive one, that's for sure.
Yeah, when they secured A site, I thought that the spike would be going down. However, I failed to see that the spike was stuck near B main area. Unfortunately, it was isolated, sitting by its lonesome, crying like, "Hey guys, you kind of forgot something when you took that A site." And then they realized and they just rotated back towards B, which did work out in their favor. They had the Killjoy lockdown in hand to secure against that retake. So they used such a great effect. They push and hold TR into a position where they could set up a kill zone, and they were able to get it. Paradox though taking down an unsuspecting Meow near that B main area. He has the knives out. He's gonna rush on towards the attack. KUCH though, they have secured A site again. It looks to be a retake strategy coming out from True Rippers as they let KUCH take the site over and over again, and they do have that retake in hand. Paradox pushing it through A main from the backside. Poke's no good. Is gonna go into astral form right now. Is he gonna be able to find him though? He does find him out, and the dives go to the chest of Poke's no good, along with the Hunter's Fury as well. It's gonna be a swath of ultimates being used. Shark Game gets taken, tagged on. Juven, he has the recon dart in hand. It's a 1v2. He's walled out by the astral plane. He does not know that the defuse is going down because he doesn't have the sound. He peeks out at an angle where Shark Game would be able to take him, and Paradox is gonna get the defuse out. True Rippers take a thrifty round with that amazing retake that we just saw. Swath of ultimates being laid down across the board. The Team KUCH, they really need to work against that retake strategy coming out from True Rippers if they are to get subsequent rounds on the board for their team.
What's the questionable part coming down from the play from the side of KUCH was why did they opt to use the astral wall in such a weird way? Because normally when you use the cosmic divide, you would consider blocking off the side towards garden and then also towards the side of heaven, and then climb towards the angle of green box instead of generator. Them opting to go in for such an unconventional plant and then going down for the play there was a little bit of a question mark. But moving on back from that, it's just going to be Paradox is going in for a swing down towards the side of mid, getting a kill down onto the first initial player and dashing back out. That's just Paradox's thing. When he has that operator in his hand, he is a deadly force. That is pure. But Kasha wants to try and get a little bit of that action moving on down forward. He's gonna be able to take down Masters from the back end. Paradox, he doesn't want to peek that corner, especially with that frenzy. Yes, maybe he's gonna be able to get the first initial headshot, but that's pretty much it. What that got trying to go in for a repeat when he shouldn't have pays the price for it with his own life. Meow's gonna be the one to take him on down. Paradox is from the back end. A little bit of a connection problem, but he's back nonetheless. With that, it's a 3 versus 2 retake situation going on through with Pokies opting to go in for that plant and very aggressive positions when it comes down to the post plants for the side of
Paradox opting to scan out far into the site from members of KUCH unfortunately gets taken down by Pasha Sahil. Near that green box area, Relic's gonna be one pushing in through the A Heaven area, covered by Shark Game. Pasha Sahil's gonna peek out through Generator, he's gonna find up, and oh my god, nasty headshots coming out from Relic! The retake again playing in favor of True Rippers. This strategy is something that they've known, they've honed, they've mastered. They're just using it to great effect against KUCH. They really need to seal the cracks that appear once the spike is down if they want to get more rounds on the board for them. And True Rippers, my goodness, the individual flair that they're showing in every single round. Paradox is the one sitting at the top of the scoreboard with 8-4. He has the operator in hand for him. As a timeout has been activated by the attackers, they know that they need to sit down and figure a few things out for their retake strategies. So right now they have to basically sit down on the drawing board, see what's going wrong, check all the angles properly, know which player has to position on which side. I think it's a little bit of a case of the nerves coming in because it's this first day of the entire tournament. So I think they just need to calm themselves down, collect themselves, and really jot down what they need to do once the spike is down. For True Rippers, though, they're playing to their strengths. They've always, even when they were Rat Syndicate, they've always played towards that retake strategy. So I'm looking to see how they actually capitalize that for going forward in this particular game. But what are your thoughts, Aggressive, so far from what we've seen? All right, so we're going to go back into the game as the timeout again comes back in. And it's going to be sheriffs all across the board for Team KUCH as they just are now reeling from a loss in the past round where they had the retake done from the side of True Rippers. Relic going in for 2 massive headshots on towards 2 members of KUCH holding the ace side, facilitated that win for his team. It's now going to be up to KUCH to try and get her out a thrifty round here. One tap God being blinded out by Bondev. He's going to get subsequently taken down with the headshot of the Sheriff. It's always frustrating to die to that weapon. So let's see what is up here. Bondev opting to secure a weapon here. Shark Game using that paranoia to circumvent a little bit of that push coming in. Is now going to be KUCH probing their way on towards B main. They might just go for a rotate.
a bad rotation coming on through, and a beautiful one tap coming down from Bondev as well. I will have to say that it's payback probably for what happened in round number 2. Bondev peeked the corner, he got one tap out of existence, and Bondev this time around is like, I'm gonna pay you back for that. Swings the corner himself, taps him into the next dimension. Beautifully done. A 1-for-1 trade and a weapon for their side, basically meaning that now they're at a slight advantage, but at the same time, when your Sentinel player is just beating himself this much, Relic hitting all those flick shots, and now they're moving down towards the side where Relic is holding a little bit of a question mark in my eyes, to say the very least. Paradox, he's got
Oh my god!
Enemy remaining. Lineup going on through. Relic, he's gonna be able to take down another one, coming down from the sidelines. He's not gonna be able to take down Juven though. Juven with a double kill, now going on down to a 1 versus 2 situation. Very much possible down from his at 86 HP, and a dream. The recon ball does go on through, does not spot him out, just to say the very least. But Sharkade with a wide swing takes down Juven. He was not ready for that peak. But honestly speaking, Paradox says that shot was absolutely disgusting. Finding that lineup right then and there on a singular angle peak. Beautifully done. 4 and 3 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of True Rippers and Red Bro. If this is what we are in store for coming on down from these two teams, I can't wait to see what happens on the Foley side.
Definitely, already only 7 rounds on the board, and what a match this is shaping up to be. Paradox with that insane push through the Astra Smoke, catching KUCH off guard, because you don't really expect an entry fragger to be pushing that aggressively through an Astra Smoke when they know that all the members of the opponent team, the attacking team, have already captured that B main area. It's not really up to their best interest for any Jet player to push that, but Paradox, he makes it work somehow, gets that collateral, gets another kill before dying to Juven, whereas his team could actually facilitate that win. And again, KUCH adapting again with the strategy of the attack. They're going more towards mid. I really like this approach from them. When they know that a strategy does not work out, it's not going to help them, they immediately change it up. And this is something that we want to see from these teams. Strategic variety going on towards the attack. Focus more on mid. Focus more on putting pressure towards main while you go too short. Paradox though, using that individual flare to take down Pokey is no good. The run it back is going to be able to find a little bit of information on the defenders holding down towards that A site. Paradox holding with that operator is going to get shot with the curveball. Now that they have the now that KUCH has the information about the operator in a short area, they're gonna be able to reroute this attack towards mid-market. Again, showing that adaptability here. They do have one member down though. They don't have their controller. They can't cut off the sidelines. They're gonna have to rely on the mollies of the Killjoy. There's only one molly left for Meow to use. She's gonna have to be really careful about where she wants to place it, but TR Master has other plans here, taking down Bondev, removing a lot of the bite from the attack of KUCH. Basha Sile going in, picks down Relic. The site is clear, but no one notices Sharkade in that particular area. He's gonna be able to take down 2 members. Falling to Meow though. Master getting the trade of his teammate before the round is sealed. And it looked to be a little bit of a miscommunication coming out from KUCH, as they were checking out the corners, but no one actually watched B main, which allowed Sharkade to actually come in like that and kill 2 people before going down. It was a little bit of a misplay coming out from them after a very convincing round where they adapted the strategies and everything, but they just lost 2 members before they could even go in for the attack properly on towards the site. They dropped the round, but it's going to be up to them to try and get this eco round back so they can finally bring in the rifles.
Get out of my
Aggressive
way.
plays coming on down from their side. Just so clean, but Paradoxes, you just don't do that to them. He gets a gravity well and also a flashback to the face, and he doesn't even give a damn about him. Not coming on down with his own 1 tap. Going for that straight, pulls out that classic. Wants to go in for more, but Juven just slaps him in the face with that sheriff and be like, sit down. You gotta take it easy for a little bit. But at the same time, it's already over. The round just started. It's already going on down to a 1 versus 3 situation. And look at Relic's position. He didn't need to use that cyber cage, but no harm, no foul. Juven, he doesn't know what's up. He expected his Relic to come on down from the sidelines instead. He goes up over the top and just shoots him down on the top of his head. And with that, we just started the next round and it's already over, Red Bro. I think you said something about them winning out on that eco round, but seemingly it just did not happen. And it feels as though the strategy is just not there from the side of KUCH.
I feel like when they actually went in towards the main side, True Rippers, they were always playing the retake, right? So KUCH, they had a false sense of security that, okay, we're just going to walk towards main and we're not going to encounter a lot of opposition because we've been waltzing into side, getting the spike plan down. Our main concern is the retake, right? But then True Rippers, in true Rat Syndicate or True Rippers form, they changed up the strategy, played more aggressively towards that main side, caught KUCH completely off guard, and got rewarded for it. 1-tap God, getting the 3k on towards the board. Paradox, my goodness, you hand this guy an operator, he's gonna get a kill every single round. And you can see it on the scoreboard for him. He's sitting at 14 kills at this point as the wall goes down. KUCH are now pushing it really, really aggressively here. Wall tap God using the showstopper on towards that particular flank. Pokey's no good though. Has his number, address, and social security number. Takes him down, but the retake is on. It's a really messy fight going on towards that B main area. Trade for trade for trade. Comes down. Paradox gonna be the only one with the operator. Sitting down towards Pokey is no good. He's gonna opt to use that vandal. He has the knives out. It's gonna be towards Pasha Style holding down towards that stairs area. The Cloudburst is gonna flank him out, but Pasha Style is gonna push him out as he used that vandal to try and get a find with the wall bang. It's gonna be a round pullback, a very, very important, precious round for KUCH, and it's gonna be a second win breathed into them as we now sit on the scoreboard, which is at 6-4.
A little bit sad to say the very least. I honestly thought that with that first initial kill coming on down from the side of Paradoxes was already over, because now you don't have the flank watcher on your back end. You need to make that push down towards that B side, and you're running into a site full of defenders. But at the very end of it all, it was the entry fragging capability coming on down from the side of Bondev that gave them that level of security and also that level of confidence to keep things going for their side. But now with this first initial round in their favor, the snowball effect once again on towards the side of KUCH, but at the same time, One Tap got opting to go in for a play. He wanted to go in for that swing, maybe get a trade from his teammate, but that did not happen. But from the sideline, Shark Game, he's gonna be the difference maker. He's gonna be the one get that first initial kill down onto Meow, take us down to a 4 versus 4 situation once again, but he did get tagged on down to 70 HP only. Relic making a push down from the side of B main, trying to find something at the bare minimum. A lot of smokes are already being used. Master, he can't see a damn thing, but Paradox says, you're not gonna get away from his operator angle. No matter what smoke, what gravity will be put down. He's gonna be the first one to take you down out already. The ultimate now being brought from the side of Master to deny the plan for just a little while longer, but the smoke is gonna be running on out, and Pasha, he does get 2 kills. Paradoxes, he was just all ready for it. He didn't expect that to happen from the sidelines. Bondev coming on down from the bottom and being able to take down Master. And with that, Relic, he's down in an impossible 1 versus 3 situation, Red Bro. I don't think this is gonna happen.
So, looking at the score right now, it seems to be that KUCH, they do have a new life breathed into them with this last round that we saw. Like, suddenly, after, 5 consecutive rounds of losses, they just suddenly rose up from the ashes and started wrecking everything. You saw in the confidence that they have when they went on towards the site, they did not just hold angles, they actively took the fight to True Rippers when they were going in to take positions against the retake. And I feel like both these teams are just outsmarting each other with their unpredictability, because you have a few patterns coming out. KUCH waltzing into a site while True Rippers flawlessly executing a retake, right? So at this point, True Rippers know that KUCH will be holding down towards the site, so they have ample time and space to maneuver themselves into positions and set themselves up for a really efficient and fast retake. But when they were actually getting themselves into that position, they just got caught off guard by all members of KUCH, and that's how True Rippers got picked off one by one. But here we see like trades coming out from both these teams at this point. KUCH though, they're a member down. Pasha Sahil, their MVP, is already waiting for the start of the next round, while TR Shark Game has been taken down. Now TR, they're not playing aggressively, they're just holding down angles at this point. They want to go in for like a really solid retake strategy again, while KUCH, they're now probing on towards the side. They're not walking in willy-nilly, they're checking their angles, they're trying to gather as much information as they can. They're trying to bait out the utilities. The running back has been popped out by Bondev. Boombot's gonna spot him out. The recon dart is on as well. Garden's gonna be taken down by TR. One tap God is gonna get taken down by Bondev. Master is in that garden area. He only has a Spectre to work with, but the recon dart is on. He's gonna put it towards his side. Pokey's no good. He's gonna get taken down by Paradox. Paradox takes another one towards Juven. It's gonna be Bondev near that A main area. He's gonna find Paradox again with a headshot. He's gonna find Jill with a headshot. Raleig's gonna be the one getting taken down. Master is in there, and the ice comes out from Bondev without even using the flash. He gets 3 kills on the board in quick succession after the spike gets planted. KUCH breathe again a second life in this game. 6-6 on the scoreboard as we get into the second half. My goodness, what a showing we're seeing from all these players.
Steve was here, he would say one thing. KUCH, that's literally my reaction right now. KUCH, Bondev, you had absolutely no business winning that round. 3 members were rushing you down. Yes, I understood that you were taking 1v1 fights, but getting that kill down onto Masters at the very end without even using your flash, This guy is an absolute beast, and his aim and mechanical prowess is always on point. And honestly speaking, after this round in particular, he's gonna be feeling himself. He's gonna be like, yeah, I just got an ace, and I can do pretty much everything. He had a very rough start at the beginning of the game, but now look at him. He's on the second on the scoreboard already. From 4 kills, now down to 9, and slowly falling on behind Pasha. I thought it was all but over. It was a 4 versus 3 situation right at the very beginning, but Bondef clawed their team back from the brink of defeat, getting those 4 kills and then getting his ace. Beautifully done from the side of KUCH, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, moving on down, it's just going to be even Stevens on the scorecard. So end of the first half. So we are back at square one, and there is absolutely nothing. No forms of an advantage, coming on down from either of these teams. They're all going to need to try and go back to the drawing board, understand what they need to do, and bring their A game to get that first initial advantage. Because when you're on that 6-6 scoreline, if you're able to get the pistol round down on your side, it basically means that you have that tiny little bit of an edge and some wiggle room to understand what you are going to do when it comes down to their own defense or attacking side.
True Rippers, though, now they need to recollect themselves after the 3 electric rounds put on for show by Team KUCH. They have to get themselves back, recollect themselves, and try to understand that, hey guys, look, we've won out 5 rounds in a row against them. We know how to defeat their tactics. We know now, we have a feel for how they want to play this sort of game. So now it's all up to us to decode their attack strategy and translate it into a defensive strategy that we can circumvent and now go in for it. As you can see, a very aggressive peak coming out from One Tap God and Paradox. They're now pushing in through that mid-side area. One Tap God, though, creative use of the blast pack to propel both himself and the boombot on towards mid-market. Unfortunately, Pasha Sahil finds his head with the ghost near that area. It's going to be all members of KUCH holding patiently and waiting for Team Rippers, True Rippers, to get one member onto the site before taking them down. True Rippers Paradox, though, is now posted up in an advanced position near that mid-market area. Doesn't spot anyone out, though. For TR, they have to make this a short flank work, and they're losing time. It's only 1 minute on the scoreboard, though. They have the spike in tow. KUCH playing a very, very solid defensive line. You see that none of their members have over-rotated. They're constantly, contemplating a rotation, but they're not really focusing too many members on towards B, because at this point, any member of TR could be anywhere, and it's really, really disciplined defensive hold that I really appreciate coming out from them.
Playing it slow and playing it systematic is the name of the game, especially when you are down so many members. That first initial kickoff is just so crucial to open things up for their side. But at the same time, they need to be careful because they're walking into a death trap down towards the D side. Yes, they're going to be able to get on in at the bare least with the spike man going on down, but their post-on positions are not going to be strong because all members are holding them down from deep in the back of sight. And when you're going down in a 5 versus 3 retake or a 5 versus 4 pretty much, having that man disadvantage with everyone holding down from inside of the side is just a massive disadvantage, to say the very least. You need to spread yourselves out. You need to try and play for picks. Maybe get that first initial kill. If they're not able to find it, this could be all but over for them and their side. Paradox is going in for those shots. He's not able to find it though. 6 months left on the clock. He wants to go in for that kill, but Bondef instead is going to be the first initial one to take him on down. Shots are raining on in, down left, raining on down in from the right side. Bondef with another kill from the back end. Master with a classic right kick and a flash to the face. Takes out Pasha, but Meow comes in from the side of heaven to take down another one. And as you can already see, going on down to a 5 versus 3 retake, basically holding down from inside of the site is a death sentence right there.
Let me get you a glass of water there, aggressive after that amazing retake coming out from KUCH. That was just insane coming out from them. You saw the amazingly disciplined defensive line that they held on to. At the twilight of the round, Bondef was still holding A main area. He did not rotate until all of his teammates heard that, hey, look, the spike is going down in B. You need to get in a rotate right now. And that's when they piled in all members. That's just really, really solid work coming out from them, because you never know what's going to happen in a game of Valorant. You rotate too many people on towards one side, you see that the attackers have already gone to the other. So, with that being said, TR, again, they're going to be looking to salvage this round here, but for KUCH, it's going to be up to their weapons to try and take an advantage. Pasha Sahil takes 2 shots of the Classic, not being able to land the shots of the Marshall on a nimble Paradox, though. TR Master peeking out a little too aggressively. Paradox is actually going to be able to take down Pasha Sahil near that area with the Classic. Unfortunate, though, he's going to take out Juven with the taps of the Classic, again, with a headshot. He has 100 HP to work with. He doesn't have the spike, though. They know that the spike has been dropped. near that B main area.
Gun here.
I'm sorry, they do not know that because they did not pick up that spike. So right now, for all we know, they're assuming the Paradox at the spike. Bondev holding that cheeky angle near a short area in the garden, takes him down promptly, and now KUCH looking to be firmly in the driver's seat at the start of the second half. TR have their work cut out for them in this first buy round for them.
This buy round is going to be very crucial for the side of True Rippers because when you think about it, once again, we're back at square one. There are no advantages for both of their sides, and at the same time, this is even more important to win out on this round because why? If you lose out here, it's going to a 6 and 9, and you're being forced down to another eco round, basically allowing your opponents to go in for an easy double digits if you are not opting to go in for a force spike. And when you have that double digits, it's just a massive load when it comes down to your own mechanicals.
Wow. Wow.
What just happened?
I think we're all just a bit flabbergasted by Bondev's run and back, where he just took down a member of TR and just instantly went back towards spot. Paradox again, showing his skill. He's gonna meow an unsuspecting killjoy near that catwalk area, and now TR have to face off against a retake from a Lonely Juval. Unfortunately, no, they do not face off against that retake. They promptly take him down. TR again, showing their fangs, but that was a really messy round, Aggressive. I think we're both at a loss for words there.
Very much confused. The round just started. Bondev hooked his running back, got a beautiful kill down on the Shark Cave, and then Paradoxes is like, "What did you do to my Omen? Let me come on down towards you. I want to talk to you face to face." You just dashed on in, got the kill down on the running back body. Then immediately got another kill of his own down on the Pasha. The round just started and it's already over. That's kind of the ideology coming on down from the side of True Rippers seemingly. Because as soon as you take them down once, they're gonna come back even stronger on the next following round. Paradox is chiming on in his own kill as well. They're taking down Pasha already. But Bondev, he has a sheriff in his hand. And if that sheriff from the previous half is anything to scoff at, this is gonna be just as dangerous. Bondev coming on down with the frenzy. Sorry, not that sheriff's gonna be able to take down Paradoxes. Goes in for that curveball. He's looking for a couple of more, but such a beautiful blast back coming on down from the side of one tap god. Being able to circumvent any sort of damage that could be coming on down from the side of Bondev. But from the back end, Juven goes in for that shot. He's gonna be able to find one with that sheriff. He's looking for a little bit of a more. Finds another beautiful headshot down on the Shark Cave. It's about to take down Master, but Master, he's still alive. He's still kicking, and he is gunning for this one down with Meow. Meow's gonna be able to take him down with a beautiful headshot of his own from the back end, but Relic, he just has a better weapon. He's gonna be able to shut her on down already, taking us down to this 8-8 even Steven scoreline. And honestly, Red Pro, you're back at square one season.
Looks to be the True Rippers again. They've awakened, truly awakened themselves after that first buy round. They did lose out the couple of rounds with that advantage, with the disadvantage they had with the pistol round going in. A round that they've so well, they've worked so hard to get in the first half, but now they look to be in the driver's seat. I'm sorry, they lost out the first two pistol rounds in the first half, and now they look to be in the driver's seat again as they face down against the first buy, as they come off fresh from the buy round. They win the second one as well, and now they're going to be looking to take the lead in this particular second half. The Killjoy turret does spot out Paradoxes. This is now a more calm and composed push coming out from TR. They position all members on towards that B main area. Paradox is going to dash from towards Switch, taking the gate down. That's a really good strategy. He's going to cut off all angles, cut off one particular angle of the site, disallowing the defenders from actually pushing in towards that. So if you want to go in for that, you need to break the door, give away that little bit of information. Hunter's Fury goes down, tries to find Paradox. He's going to be able to find him with one tag, though. He has to go over so many obstacles to save himself, but the counter Hunter's Fury comes down from TR Master. He's going to be able to take down one member of KUCH. The retake is on here. It's going to be really tense as all 5 members of TR are now in the site. TR Paradox, crit shot on towards Pasha Side, gets another one on Bondev, swinging in left, swinging in right, swings left again, takes down Yuven. Is he gonna be able to find Meow? No, she gets the headshot off on him. But Relic gets the trade of his teammate. But my goodness, Paradox, he is absolutely feeling himself throughout this entire game.
Honestly speaking, everyone in chat is probably spamming Paradox previously, but at the same time, you have to give it to this man. He's an absolute beast. Doesn't matter who's peeking what corner, he's just ready for a crosshair placement on point, positioning on point, and he's constantly changing his position as well. And this is one of the key factors of a really incredible player, because when you change your position constantly, you keep your opponents guessing. They don't know where you're going to be holding at, and that basically gives you the best possible advantage to win out on that gunfight. And his supremacy is just showing as we are moving on down forward, because now it's just going to be another equal round coming on down forward from the side of KUCH, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, Sharking, he does get that first initial kill, but Pokey straight from the smoke spots out the cloudburst coming on up from Paradoxes. With a beautiful crosshair placement, he's gonna be able to take them down. But look at one tap on. He's only got down from the back end. He's gonna be able to get one kill. He's actually gonna be able to get a second as well. They were not ready for it. What is happening in this game, honestly, Red Bro? My feelings are just being played with at this stage.
I feel like at that point, it's just a comedy of errors, because both these teams, they're just playing really, really well in terms of the macro strategy. It's these little micro moments in the match where one player just gets a little too aggressive, or maybe posts himself in a position where people won't finally, you know, where people won't actually think that they might get flanked from. One tap god in that particular area was there with that was it one tap god? I kind of forgot. But the fact of the matter is that in that particular position with the crosshair, with the trigger discipline that he showed, being able to take down two members, Pokey's no good after that insane sheriff shot on towards Paradox, spotting his cloudburst out through the Astra smoke. My goodness, the reaction time on that was just absolutely insane. We're gonna have to get a meter on that somehow, getting the reflex meter on the screen and seeing how fast he actually clicked that head. But at this point, TR, they're in the driver's seat of this game, sitting at a 10-8 scoreline, and it's going to be their game to lose, because at the matter of fact, the way that we've seen both these teams just go back and forth throughout the entire game, you would want to be in a sort of a position that TR is in right now. But looking at the fact that KUCH were also sitting at a 2-round surplus going into the subsequent rounds of the second half, I'm not sure if TR would be actually should get too comfortable about this particular lead that they've carved out for themselves.
Yeah, especially considering the adaptability of KUCH. We saw how they were able to adapt when it came down to a lot of their own attacking rounds, taking 3 consecutive rounds down on a 6-3 scoreline. So this is very much possible for them to come on back from this as well. 10-8 on the scorecard for the side of True Rippers. But at the same time, you do have to remember, now that the double digits are on the board, there's going to be a lot more mental pressure towards the side of KUCH, because now they're going to be worried. 2 more rounds for the side of match point, ladies and gentlemen. And if you lose out here, you no longer have buys to keep things going when it comes down to your following consecutive rounds. So try and fight for that match point, because honestly speaking, as soon as you hit that 11th round, you're in a pretty bad spot already, because if you need to go in for a buy on that 11th round, and we always talk about this, you never want to fight for overtime. So if you go for that buy on that 11th round, and if you lose out on that, that basically means that it's a 12-8 score line. You no longer have buys to try and fight for that overtime. And basically all of the advantages are now going in favor towards the side of True Rippers. So here is where they need to make their real stand. If they're not able to win out on this round in particular, I will honestly have to say this could be all but over for their side.
Definitely, and we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to see what happens in that particular game. But looking at the individual player performances, I feel like we got the players to watch to a T. Like Basha, Sahil, and Paradox, they've been performing really, really well throughout this entire game. It's not going to be any different in game 2, given the fact that both these players are just in it to win it at this point. Paradox, though, with that operator in the first half, absolutely amazing defensive hold with the angles that he was actually able to cover, and then showcasing his prowess with his aim with the Phantom. Asha Sahil, though, I really admire the fact that he's going in aggressively and taking the fight to all members of TR, not really shying away from firefights, and actually coming out swinging in a lot of the fights that he had a disadvantage in. But do you want to take us through a little bit more about the other players that we've seen so far throughout the course of this game?
Of course. Honestly, the first player I really, really want to highlight has to be Relic. This guy has been so consistent. Yes, he's not having a lot of the explosive performance coming on down throughout the entire game, but when it comes down to his information plays and also his stalling potential, there is nothing that the side of KUCH could have done to try and circumvent that. Primarily because Relic, he just plays so sneaky, and you have to go back to that round where he got that 3K. Flicks all over the place. Coming on down from the side of Heaven and then getting a kill down from the person peeking from the angle of Generator. Absolutely beautiful and insane. This guy is on another level when he's feeling himself. Relic has to be my other MVP, and coming on down from the side of KUCH, I have to give it to Bondev. This guy is stepping up so massively. Every single time we think that KUCH, they're just out. There is nothing that they can do. Bondev chimes in and be like, hey, just watch me. I got this. That's exactly why he's playing the Phoenix. The line just fits him so well. He's doing so much when it comes down to all of his raw potential. But at the same time, it's just not enough. It feels as though KUCH, they're lacking when it comes down to the side of adaptability. And hopefully here is where they really do make their stand. I'm looking towards the side of Pokies and also Meow to step up a little bit more, take the reins onto their side and try and force a play. Because now that the lockdown is available for the side of KUCH, they could try and maybe play it a little bit more aggressive down onto one singular sideline while allowing Meow to play towards the side of B or maybe towards the side of A and just pop that Killjoy ultimate while everyone else pushes down from the side of A main and then make the difference from there because they're lacking when it comes down to the map control department. And it feels as though True Rippers, they're the ones at the massive advantage on their side. They're like, hey, if you're not going to fight for the map, we're just going to take it and we're going to surround you and then pincer you from every single angle.
That's gonna be something that they would want to do. KUCH, the adaptability, as you said, has been a bit lacking. Like I've seen so far, like 3 or 4 strategies that they've consistently pulled out throughout the course of this game. What they really need to also nail is the execution, because once they actually set a plan in motion, it's to them to see it throughout the end phase, right? And that is something that they've actually struggled to do against True Rippers, and I feel like if they can actually nail that down, get themselves collectively on the board and just try and jot down the plan again. Focus on what's going wrong. Focus on sealing the cracks that are appearing when they're going in for that final execution. I feel like they can actually really take the fight to True Rippers, and we've already seen that happening in this game. Right now, True Rippers, though, comfortably in the driver's seat. Poki's no good, and Juven holding down this mid-market area. Now, both these teams opting to play very conservatively after the pause round, which does break a little bit of the momentum if you were going in very, very aggressively on towards the other team. So True Rippers, they're constantly looking for information, trying to bait out the utility. TR Master walking into a very precarious position here. Juven, that sound cue is going to give him away towards TR Master conveniently, who peeks out. He knows that the Sova is inside this smoke. He heard his footstep. He knows that he's over there. He's going to wide swing though, but Juven is going to be the one finding his counterpart near that mid-market area. The spike, meanwhile, goes down from TR. TR Chart Game is going to find out Juven near that mid-market area. Chris shots going down. Meow 16 using that wide swing to get herself into an advantageous position. Takes down Relic as well. And again, aggressive. Back and forth. It just does not stop.
When it comes down to the back and forth rounds, it feels as though you and me are always casting it every single time. And I still remember in the Invitational, how many rounds did we need to cast at one point? I still remember that maybe there was a game where we were casting for a 15 and 15 scoreline moving on down forward. It was absolutely incredible. But at the same time, both of these teams, they're not letting up against one another. And if this is the thing that is happening already, we could just be looking at down at an OT at this point, because Meow, she still has her lockdown in her arsenal, so any sort of an aggressive push that could be coming on down from the side of True Rippers could just get stopped in a matter of seconds, if and only if they play their cards right. Because you do need to remember, Master, he does not have the ultimate down on his arsenal just yet. Paradox is getting tagged in the leg just almost immediately. The running back comes on down from the side of Bondev, and he's gonna be able to one tap God out of existence. And with that first initial pick up, and with Juven on the sideline being able to get that kill down on the Master, things could be already over for the side of True Rippers, ladies and gentlemen. Meow holding on down from the back of the side. Here comes the lockdown, but Relic is going to be ready and gunning for that play. Sharpton's going to be able to take down one, but down in this 1-3 situation, there's not much that he can do. Maybe go in for that plan, but with only 8 bullets, he needs to up to go in for that reload, up to go in for that fade to see if he can find at the bare minimum of something to make that difference for his team. And now with that reload, they know exactly where he is. They're going to be going in for that spam, and I love the fact that all the members from the side of KUCH, they're playing it slow, they're playing it systematically. They don't want to go in for that peak, they just want to wait for all of it, but to make that difference. But Shark Game, he's in a pretty isolated spot, and with both angles now being able to see him going in for that double peak, KUCH, they just take him on out. And just as we started, 10 and 10 on the scorecards already right after the pause, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems as though Coach B, they are back once again, taking us down to even Stevens. And honestly, Red Bro, at this point, I feel as though this match is going to go towards OT.
It might just go towards OT the way that these two teams are just trading blows. KUCH B, a really solid uniform performance coming out from all their members. You have Basha Sahil, Bondef, and Meow16K had really close kill participation counts on the scoreboard, and I really like the fact that all these players are playing off of each other's strengths and using that to get themselves on towards the side retake and really, you know, nullifying a lot of the attacking prowess coming out from True Rippers. You have people like Paradox, you have people like One Tap God, and they're not being able to take a successful attack against them in a few of the rounds that we've seen so far. There's going to be the spike being planted by True Rippers. KUCH B, they're now well poised to get themselves onto a retake. The only ultimate available to them is the Astral Wall. Are they going to be able to use that really effectively here, or will they just save it for the next round?
Astral
Looks to be they just used it.
It's gonna be a little bit of a question mark, but look at Relic's positioning. He's gonna be able to take that one, but a small whiff coming on down. Juven instead just slaps a bullet into his face. Remember, already going on down to a 4 versus 4 situation. The advantage that they had initially is no longer in their favor. Paradox is gonna be the first one to get that initial kill down on the Focus Master. Chimes in with his own kill with Bondef getting a kill down on the Shark game. Trades are going in left, trades are going in right. Pasha coming in for the silence with that operator being able to take down one more, but he needs to save his operator. This is so crucial that he tries to survive and live, but One Tap God, he doesn't want to give anything away. He's looking for that play to happen, but jumping around is not how you shoot the gun. He gets taken on down, coming on down for the side of Pasha, and with that, he's going to be able to save that operator, but at the bare least, the even-Steven scoreline has been broken, and it's going to be the side of True Rippers being able to take the lead in their favor. And with that first initial round, pretty much already the pressure can be felt already from both of these teams. They know for a fact that if they lose out on this round in particular, they're not even gonna have enough to go in for proper buys when it comes down to the match point side. And now KUCH B, they're on a massive disadvantage of their own. For the side of True Rippers, they have the money to do pretty much anything that they want. They're gonna hold down this corner. Pasha going in for that shot. He was just ready for it. I honestly thought that maybe Pasha's not gonna... Oh. Yeah, never mind.
Revive back comes down from TR Master. Gonna circumvent a little bit of the retake coming out from KUCH B. One Tap God gets spotted out through the gap of the Astral Smoke. The Hunter Spear is gonna come out from Juven at this point. He wants to really stop the attackers in their tracks here. 3 members of True Rippers are now on the board. The must-win round for KUCH B is now looking very winnable, as it's now a 5v3. The ultimate for Basha Sahil is there. He's been really crucial with that operator, posting himself up in those anchor positions, really sealing the deal for his team by counteracting the attacking push coming out from True Rippers, getting those angles off cleanly. That's the advantage you have with the Jet. When you actually use that operator coupled with the mobility, you can just get one shot off and dash away. That just lends a lot of survivability to this particular agent, and that's why she's so valuable. Shark Game now slowly making his way on towards that stairs area. He's gonna spot out Meow16K near that boat out there, but does he know that Juven is holding this angle though? 2 members of TR in true SWAT team fashion take down 2 members of KUCH B in that B-side area. Now a 3v3. It's gonna be KUCH B's round to win at this point here. They really have to get this one done.
Shark Game, he is going to be the anchor coming on down from the back end. He has the paranoia in hand, and Master is a pretty tough spot of his own, but he's gonna be able to survive. And just as you say, a true SWAT team fashion indeed. Master's holding down one angle while Shark Game holds down the other. And that paranoia absolutely on point, being able to find out 2 players as they were making that first initial push happen. Pokies, he didn't know where to look at, because in that moment of confusion, Pasha going on down towards the hands of Master basically means that, hey, with that, it's already over, because now no one's gonna look at Masters, because Shark Game's taking that first initial peek. He gets that kill, shuts down the player pushing down from that singular angle, and at the same time, KUCH B, everyone funneled down from one singular sideline, basically just funneling themselves through into a lawnmower at that point. They were just getting taken on down from every single angle, and that little bit of miscommunication just costing them pretty much everything, because now they don't have enough money to go in for that fight. But Paradox is opting to go in for such an aggressive play really did cost them pretty much everything. And with that first initial pickup, this could be all but over for their side before the round even started.
Paradox, a crucial component of the successful attacks that we've seen coming out from True Rippers. It's gonna be a huge blow for them to lose their primary attacker at the onset of the round. Juven finds out the information. They know that TR is going to be playing default as they spotted out only 2 members in B main while they have 4 members alive. Pasha Sahil holding that insanely aggressive angle. You know, here is going to find out Relic, but in true Relic fashion, he takes down Pasha Sahil, but Vonda is going to be able to pull one back in that mid-side area. He's been absolutely stepping up his game in the second half lately. Poki's no good, knows that the Cypher is there, using the body of his teammate to get the neural theft off with the information. They now have the spike on their side. 4 members of KUCH are now alive, while 2 members, TR Master and 1 Tap God. They're going to have to pull something magical out of the hat here, ladies and gentlemen, if they want to be able to win out this round. Poki's no good, knows that the spike has to be taken, and they have to take it to A. The timer is just counting down here. 15 seconds, 13 seconds on the scoreboard. The Astral Star goes down, the blast bags go down. TR 1 Tap God is in the side, gets 1 tap by Bonnet from that A short area. Master, it might be in his best interest to save this Phantom. He has only a recon dart to work with, and he just absolutely is very averse to the idea of taking a 1v4 fight at this point.
It would be quite impossible to say the very least, but at the same time, it's Master. We saw what he did when he came down to the pistol round. He nearly pulled off the clutch, but here it could be a little bit more difficult considering he doesn't know any of their positionings, and he's going to be the one attacking down into the side instead of opting to go in for that retake. So problems here and there, still no harm, no foul, because now it's not the end of the world for the side of True Rippers because they still have enough money to go in for the proper full buys to take the fight towards the side of KUCH and bring it back on their end to take us down to a 13 and 11 to end off this first map. But at the same time, Red Pro, you do need to consider something, because when you are wondering what the side of KUCH can do to try and circumvent this, they need to try and establish a lot more map control like they have done in this previous round, because they were able to be aggressive down onto their sidelines. Pasha, I love the fact that he made that push down towards the side of A main, holding that aggressive angle. Unfortunate that he was not able to get that kill, but Pokis was there to go in for that immediate trade, so no harm, no foul. And that's exactly what they need to do against the side of True Rippers, because if there is anything going on down towards the side of True Rippers, you can already see that they are playing based upon map control. And if you take that level of map control away from them, they're a team that they just feel lost on what they want to do. Because honestly speaking, Red Bro, have you seen True Rippers going in for any form of a fast execution heavy rush? It has not really happened because their composition is purely basing upon fast execution heavy rushes. And the fact that they're not opting to go for that basically means that they are scared because of the Astra utility and of course the Phoenix utility that the side of KUCH have on their side.
I feel like you're absolutely right regarding that. I feel like in terms of the strategies that they're employing on the attack, Paradox has the right idea of dashing in towards side, getting himself into advanced positions to clear out the angles that the defenders might be holding from. It's just that his team is just not following up with the utilities, not even following up with the rushes on towards the side to help facilitate his push on towards an advanced position. Because if your entry fragger takes one part of the map, it's up to you to secure the other parts of the map that he's left behind because he's dashed so far in, and really take full control of the site and prepare for the retake once the spike has gone down. From True Rippers, I'm feeling that there's a little bit of a delay in the execution. Again, might be a case of the nerves because they just came up to grips with a team that's absolutely evenly matched at this point. I think we can say, looking at the scoreline, which sitting at 12 and 11, and the fact that both times these teams have had 2-0 leads just absolutely blown away. I mean, 2-round leads absolutely blown away by their opposition. That in and of itself is a huge pressure on your mental game, and it's something that's already showing through in the way that these players are playing. My concern right now for game 1 is how positively each team takes this away into the next game. Even if you're the winner, I'm pretty sure you'll still be shaking and reeling from the back and forth style of this game, and it's never good for a player to be reeling from this particular style of gameplay and then going onto the second one with the same opponent. So it's going to be up to who keeps the nerves the most to determine who's going to be the winner of this best of 3.
All about the long game, and at this stage, you need to move on towards the side of experience from these players to see who can win it all out. And here, with this pause coming on down through, this is going to be the real problem, to say the very least. It feels as though True Rippers, when they have the momentum on their side, they're able to keep things rolling and they're able to take the fight straight towards the side of KUCH. But now, with the pause going on through, the real question in my eyes, Red Bro, would be, will True Rippers be able to carry that level of snowball down forward? Because they have lost out on that previous round, and that's going to be a massive blow when it comes down to their own confidence. And now that they no longer have that snowball effect, and now with the pause going on through as well, their momentum has stopped completely. And now moving on down forward, it's just going to be much more of that massive question mark. Will KUCH just take it away, take us down to OT, where both of these teams have to dig down deep and find that stamina to keep things going for their side? Or will it be the side of True Rippers being able to take this map away right when KUCH were able to probably go in for a play, but Pokies, he opts to go in for that peak. He does go down already, but Bondev is going to come back with his own run it back, being able to take down another play of his own. Paradox is putting down an aggressive corner from the side of Market, making that push happen slowly, and once again, it feels as though True Rippers, they have too much map control, and with Paradox is holding such an advanced position, this could be all but over for their side. Master spots out Juven from the back end, but the tag does not go on for, and Paradox is slowly but surely making that push happen on his own, literally walking down towards the side of Spawn. Paradox says he's in such a beautiful position. Anyone opting to go in for a rotate down towards his B side is in a world of hurt, that is for sure.
Paradox getting himself into this advanced position is going to mean a lot of the rotation is going to be cut up. Pasha side though, carefully checking that angle, but not really suspecting the fact that another jet might be there. Juven takes down one critical kill near that B-side area. Meow is also going to be the one falling again. The recon dart's going to spot out two members of TR here. He has a strong dart to work with. Leaves with the bounce. He gets the tag on towards Juven. I mean TR Master, but Juven's going to be the one getting the final kill. It's a 1v1 from TR. Paradox and Bondev. He gets the flash off. Doesn't find the... Oh my goodness, Bondev! That was a clutch round for you! My goodness, the curveball hitting Paradox at the last second. He found Bondev, he recovered from the flash fast enough to get the right click onto him. Unfortunately, it's such a 50-50 at that range with the knife right click that you just can't really guarantee that you'll get the kill, and Bondev happy. Really happy, in fact, euphoric, in fact, to get that kill on Paradox. And now we're going into overtime, as you stated, aggressive. What a game we are having in our hands at this point. My goodness.
Feels as though Paradox he felt the nerves in that round. He dropped the ball. Maybe opting to go in for the plan would have been the better idea, but still, in these high pressure scenarios, you want to go in for that flashy play. You want to try and end things off as fast as possible, and that's where it all just broke down. But at the very least, this is still overtime, not a match loss, and hopefully for the side of True Rippers, they can actually try and bring it back from there. And for KUCH, they're going to be ecstatic, because now that they were able to win out on that round in particular, their tournament dreams are still alive, and they're still kicking for a couple of more. Pasha coming on down from the back end. The tripwire has been triggered from their sidelines. Pasha, he made so much noise going on down from the back end. He knows for a fact that one member is holding on down from the other side of heaven. Relic straight through that smoke. He's going to be able to take down one, looking for another opponent. Instead, it's going to be the one to take him down immediately. Juven from the sidelines. He will take down one tap god, and with that initial first play already going on through Sharkin with the fast white swing of his own, he's gonna be able to take down another one with Juven. He's still alive, he's still kicking. 4 HP and a dream for his side. Paradoxes with the operator slowly making that push happen, but at the same time, an operator on the retake is just so hard, and it's just so difficult to make it work out properly. But if anyone can do it, it has to be Paradoxes, ladies and gentlemen. Meow opting to go for that play. It's not gonna be able to find it. Juven with only 4 HP. He has nowhere to run. He has nowhere to hide. And Paradoxes to an insult to injury. Slaps her in the forehead with that operator. 255 damage straight to the face. And with that, 13 and 12 on the scorecard already for the side of True Rippers, ladies and gentlemen. Winning that first overtime round is just so crucial, because now you're getting into the heads of your opponents, being like, hey, we have the advantage, and you guys need to step up massively to take this win.
KUCH, we've already seen them stepping up to the challenge when they were supposedly down and out. Can they carve themselves out another chance at this particular game? We've had that happen in the first onset of the overtime near that 24th round of the game. At this point of the game right now, Bondev finds an unsuspecting Paradox, and that's going to remove a lot of the attacking bite coming out from True Rippers. The recon dart had gone down. He knows that one player is there. Takes out Master. He knows that more players are there. The Nerve has been taken down. Sharkgame gets spotted out. Not even able to take him down, though. And unfortunately, you've been getting a little too greedy, peeking out against two members of True Rippers, and that attack has fallen apart. At that B main side, they're going to have to make that rotation happen really, really quickly. Meow, though, sitting really patiently with her network of gadgets gadgets near that A main area. She's gonna have to keep that area under lockdown here as TR now shift their focus on towards that A site. Two members of KUCH are now situated on other parts of the map. Von F is holding that mid side religiously at this point. TR one tap god is gonna find a swath of the gadgets with the grenades and the utilities. Meow 16 though, using that advanced angle in A heaven, under A heaven, to secure that kill on towards one tap god. It's gonna be up to her to hold off two members of TR while she is getting joined by two of her members here. They find themselves in a kill zone. The gravity well is gonna facilitate an amazing kill for KUCH. And oh my goodness, they pull one out of the hat when they needed to. And every single one of these players, Bondev, Ashasile, Juven, Meow, Pokies, every single one of these players have something in them. I don't know what it is aggressive, but when the chips are down, when they need to step up, every single one of them step up in these situations and they get themselves back fighting again. And TR, they just can't keep this zombie down. They just keep coming back from the dead. What do they need to do to seal this game?
Honestly speaking, this is the fighting spirit that the side of KUCH have. They are the underdogs of this story, and they are gunning for this win. And they're giving such a beautiful showing as well when it comes down to a lot of their fights. Because just think about it like this. KUCH, they have a lot to prove. They have so much talent on their side, and the narrative's already there. They are from anything to something at this stage, and you have to give it to them. Because they are a team that are fighting for their spot on the top 8 and going up against the likes of True Ripper as well. Also a team that have had a really hard time trying to come on down this far, and the fact that they have been able to make it and now going on down against their own rivals were very evenly matched going up against one another. 13 and 13 on the scorecards is nothing to scoff at. Both of these teams, they have equal chances of winning this one out, and it's all about the resolve at this stage. Which team will be able to keep their heads in the game to keep things going for their side? Who will just pull the rabbit out of the hat at this point? Because it's all about mechanical miracles at this stage. Because when it comes down to strategies, both of these teams are equally matched seemingly in my eyes. Both of them are trying to adapt. Both of them are trying to make changes to bring the advantage in their favor. But at the same time, it feels as though these small ego plays coming on down sometimes is what's costing them so much in a couple of their own rounds as well. On the back end, moving on down onto this overtime round for the defensive side, for the side of True Rippers, Paradox is being forced out of his own safety corner from the back end. One tap god getting spotted down out by the recon bull. That was sleep just a tiny little bit to say the very least, but still positions have been revealed. Paradox is with that first initial kill from the side of Under Heaven. Paradox is with his second. The operator just being so deadly. Paradox is with his third. Pulls out the knives. He's looking for a couple of more. Knows for a fact that one member is holding down from the back end. Will he be able to fight it? Right click to one. Right click to another. Paradox is with an ace to take it all the way. 40 to 30 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. One operator, knives, and a dash. That's all that he needs to shut everyone down. With that, True Rippers, they take away the first overtime round, and Paradox says he's at the helm of it.
Paradox stepping up big time for his team with that insane 5k, tagging down all three members of KUCH who put their heads out through the site. With that operator, he's just so deadly, and if you don't take him out at the onset of the round, he's always going to bite you back in the later stage. And when this happens, KUCH, for anyone, for any player in KUCH right now, that is such a strong blow to their mental game at this point, and they're gonna be reeling from that shaky round at this point, and it's gonna be all up to them to try and secure this round and get themselves back onto overtime. They need to win this out. It's a 14 to 13, but at this point, Aggressive, I feel like we're witnessing the blossoming of a new rivalry between these two teams, because the way that they're just going at each other's throats is just absolutely insane. And win or lose for either of these teams, I'm pretty sure both of them are going to have a grudge if they do face off against each other in any tournament at any time in the future. And I do hope that that just happens again. And just thinking about the fact that we have another game of this to witness is just making me feel really giddy.
It's for sure. Both of these teams are not letting up even a tiny little bit when it comes down to their steam. But at the same time, look at the start of this round. A lot of the utility already has been used from the side of one tap. And with that, not having a pain shell, especially when executing down onto the side, it's going to be a massive blow to say the very least. when it comes down to their own executions. But with the operator already being found out, Pasha holding on down from the mid angle, and if Master opts to go in for that peek, this could be dangerous for his side, but that camera does spot him on out. And with that information, Master, he's not going to be opting to go in for that swing just yet. Now holding him down from the back, and the smokes are going to be coming on from the side of Shark Team as well. Turret already being taken on down, and Relic, he's being the entry trigger. Cypher that we know and love already. The recon ball does find out multiple. Relic running and gunning. He's actually gonna be able to get a kill down on Meow. The look in his favor, and it seems as though with that first initial pickoff, things would have been all but over, but still Juven, he's gonna be able to go in for that trade. Shut down another one. Both of the Sentinels are now out of the picture. 4 versus 4 on the map with the spike already going on down. And look at Master's, look at One Tap's position. He's in the prime spot to shut everyone down from the side of B main if anyone wants to go for a fast execution for this retake.
There's a 4v4, really dangerous situation here, really tense for both these teams. It's up in the air at this point. Who is gonna get to be the winner at this point? TR Master takes down a really critical kill. Bondev getting that trade off. One Tap God is in that dangerous position here. B main area is gonna be able to spot out one. He spots out two. Bondev gets that trade out on towards him. Bondev gets another trade. Bondev gets the last fire. Does he have enough time? He probably does not have enough time to get the defuse up. Oh my goodness, a valiant effort coming out from Bondev, ending in a 0.64 deficit on the score, on the timer, I'm sorry. And that is just heartbreak for Team KUCH, who made such an amazing effort to try and get themselves back in. My goodness, aggressive. What did we just witness?
I did not look at the scorecard because of how invested I was in the match. Paradoxus has 37 kills. Red Pro, 37.
How do you counter that?
This guy just popped off, and Bondev, he literally pulled rounds out of his hat. Literally. Like, there is no situation where he should have been able to win a lot of the rounds. He was able to win it, and he nearly won this one out as well. Only if one of the members from his team were able to get just the one singular kill, maybe he could have opted to go in for that full defuse for his side. But all of this just happening, both of these teams are just so evenly matched, and we have so much to break down, honestly speaking. We need to head over to the match highlights because I am excited to break everything down for you. And honestly, I'm going to give Red Pro the mic at the very beginning stages of this, and I'm going to pass you a question. What do you think exactly went wrong for the side of KUCH? Because in my eyes, it feels as though they just fell under the trap of just doing the same thing over and over again. And at the very end, they were being adaptable. They were adapting themselves, but it felt as though the nerves really got to them and they just dropped the ball at the very end of it.
Yeah, being a new team and being exposed to a novel experience at such a tournament of such a scale and going up against veterans like the players of True Rippers does do a lot to shake up your mental game when you're going into this best of 3 series. But I feel like for Team KUCH, they have a surplus of potential. They have no end to the amount of potential that they have as a team, because you see the macro strategy and the diversity that they brought to the table, the way that they've actually gone around rounds when the attacking round started. Their attack utility usage was very on point. It came down to the retake scenarios where they just found themselves caught in these positions where they couldn't take any favorable fights against the retaking team coming out from them, and True Rippers were just happy to really take those easy fights and get the easy retakes off and get the points off the map really quickly. Going into the second half, though, we saw a very different style of play coming out from both these teams, KUCH and TR, but I'm going to focus a little bit more on KUCH because they were just very interesting to watch. It came down to the execution again. They found themselves in advanced positions. The individual flair of brilliance shown by Bondev and other players were just absolutely phenomenal. There is no doubt regarding that. However, I really want to see a little bit more consistency in terms of the team coordination and the chemistry that they are capable of showing. They need to get those side plants off really well. They need to secure angles really well. You saw in multiple times throughout the course of this game, True Rippers had multiple kill zones set up all across the map, sometimes in mid, sometimes in that B main area, sometimes in sight. I didn't see any semblance of that being taken down from Team KUCH. It felt as if though 5 players were playing 5 silo games throughout the entire map. They played it really well. However, I think they would be able to play it even better if they could actually have a bit more team coordination coming in. Paradox was just a beast to deal with, and they did circumvent his threat to quite a degree, getting like so many rounds on the board. They just couldn't prevent him from getting 37 kills, and I feel like a lot of the rounds that they lost were just because of the amazing individual performances coming out from True Rippers as players. Which brings me to my question: What do you think about True Rippers throughout this entire game, and how do you think they're gonna, try to build on that confidence that they have on for game 2?
In my eyes, I feel as though True Rippers, they are now at the driver's seat and they've gotten in the heads of KUCH because primarily KUCH, they're now going to be feeling the pressure being like, hey, we cannot take them lightly. We need to take this a lot more seriously. And as you just stated, they need to try and circumvent paradoxes more than ever at this stage because after these 37 kills, this is going to be a little bit of a mental block in my eyes for the side of KUCH because now they're going to be really scared of paradoxes and as soon as he gets that operator in his hands, things are just going to get even worse for them, especially after that ace round. Imagine an operator player holding down from the side of hell, getting 3 kills, pulls out a knife, and then gets an ace. That just does not happen, especially when he doesn't have armor. He has no cloudburst, he has no updraft, he just has a tailwind, an operator, and then it's nice. And he just got an ace from one singular position. That is going to haunt you even moving forward onto map number 2. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, KUCH as a team, knowing the players and knowing their talent, they can come back from pretty much everything. Hopefully taking us down to this 1-1 scoreline and heading on down towards the side of map 3. Or it could be True Rippers using their experience and using their mechanical prowess to bring everything down and take it away 2-0. We're going to have to find out soon enough as we go into a short break. But still, make sure to hit the like and hit the subscribe button and make sure to be here as soon as we'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen. I'm CA, joined by Aggressive, back here from Map 2 of the BO3 series between KUCH B and True Rippers. Map 1 was a banger, Aggressive. I'm gonna let you tell me what you expect is gonna happen for Map 2.
Map number 2 is a lot about the expectations, but let's talk a little bit more about this as we head over to the map video screen to see what's the next battleground gonna look like. Because moving on down forward to the map of Haven, it's gonna be quite difficult to say the very least, knowing the track record of the side of True Rippers, because we know for a fact how deadly they were on the map of Ascent, and now moving on down forward to the home map of True Rippers, pretty much at this point it's just gonna get even harder, because here is where the Omen is much more powerful as well as the Astra. So when it comes down to the controllers, they're gonna be evenly matched to say the very least. But at the same time, that Astra will have that edge if they opt to go in for it. But at the same time, considering what True Rippers have pulled off on the map of Ascent, they could be going in for the same type of composition. So at this point, I can't really say which team has that advantage, but at the same time, knowing True Rippers having and like knowing that their side have that first initial taste of victory, they should be able to drive it forward and probably just take it away from the side of Butch P.
I mean, absolutely, right? Like, when I look back to that last map at the performance of both the teams, for KUCH B, when I go back to their attacking side, I saw a lot of leaks. Like, they played that killjoy, not really able to shut down the flanks as easily. And True Rippers, true to their name, very aggressive, very ruthless, continuously exposing those flanks. That issue is going to become more prominent on Haven because the map's so much bigger. There's a lot more angles you need to be able to cover, and a lot more power points that if you give away for free to a team like True Rippers, they're just gonna waltz all over you and take over the map. Like, the same can be said though, like the proficiency of True Rippers. Paradox on the op, I think he stole the show multiple times, even during the overtime with that ace. Like, him on the op is devastating, and if he can get an op on both the attacking and defensive side, as the confidence will be there for True Rippers. Could we really have to go out of their way to pull one out of the bag right now, because they came so close in map 1?
Being close and having that taste of victory is what drives you forward. And hopefully they're able to take that drive and come back even stronger for the map of Haven in particular, because here's where they need to make their stand. Their backs are against the wall. They have nowhere to run and they have absolutely nowhere to hide. if any form of mistakes come out from them in this map in particular, they could be just going on down to a spiraling slope down into defeat if things do not work out in their favor. But considering the flexibility of a lot of their compositional bases, they can go in for the same exact composition that they had previously in the map of Ascent and bring it down to Haven as well. Because personally, you know for a fact that I love the Killjoy and Astra combination when it comes down to the map of Haven because of the amount of utility usage that can be gone on through. And also, I would like to highlight something else from what happened in the map of Ascent. We didn't really see a lot of lockdowns coming on down from the side of Meow. And that was a little bit of a question mark in my eyes. I did not notice that even before, but looking back at what happened in Ascent, you would have expected a lot more aggressive lockdowns when it came down to the attacking executions or maybe a couple of the defensive rounds. Just throw out that lockdown. You can always recycle your ultimate. You never need to wait for the perfect moment. And hopefully, Meow, she can bring that level of firepower down here onto Haven because that lockdown, yes, it was very deadly on Ascent. It's even more deadlier now that it's on Haven, especially with the Astro on here.
I will say, like personally for me as a KJ player, it's way easier to maneuver on the attack on Haven as compared to the attack on Ascent. Because on Ascent, what the Cypher offers you is an ability to just close off both mains. So you put a trap fire on each side and you're comfortable. You know, you don't have to worry about the flanks. And therefore, when you have that KJ, your team needs to really step up to make sure that, hey, like we saw a lot of me out towards the B side area. The team needs to make sure there's no leaks happening towards the A side. Now in Haven, it's actually the opposite. Like you can place your turret in these far positions towards the A lobby area, which covers not just mid but also the C long push, and then you can use your alarm bot to play a more active position towards the mid, try to get your lurk going, or you can even play as an entry fragger. Meow, especially with her aim, like you can circumvent using that KJ turret for peaks. Maybe she can play a much more aggressive role. We'll have to see, because as you said, Kuch, we really do need to bring something out of the bag because it's a single round robin. You only get one chance to beat every single team, and they're gonna have to take it right now, especially when every single map counts. I'm excited to see how far they can go. Can they take us to map 3? Will we see another overtime? What do you think, Aggressive?
Personally, in my eyes, considering the track record of Haven, this map could either be a
Yeah.
13-6 or it could just be a 15-15 going down to a 16-17. Pretty much anything can happen. Both of these teams have that potential and they're very evenly matched. We saw what happened in map number 1, and things could repeat itself down onto map number 2 as well. But at the same time, you have to give it towards the side of True Rippers as well. Considering their mechanical prowess and their experience, could be a lot of the odds are stacked against them. And the real question is, will they be able to adapt quickly enough to make that level of difference count for their side? They have the young talent, they have the mechanical potential. It all really comes down to their adaptability and also their team play and coordination. Will they falter under the pressure or will they rise up to the challenge, take it by its horn, and then throw it outside of the window?
It's exactly like that, right? As you said, I'm excited to just sort of see how Kushbi really adapts to the occasion and how they come out better for it. Like a lot of the direction we talked about for this team, even from the analyst desk, was that they're the team that's sort of defying expectations, and they need to do that with this map coming through. We saw glimpses of that in map 1. The clutches Bondef was able to pull off. Absolutely nuts. Like talk about defying expectations, right? And on that note, like I want to see more of that battle between Bondef and One Tap God, like coming onto Haven. I wonder, does One Tap God, can he play the Phoenix? Can he match Bondef in the level of presence that he is able to create? Because in the last map, despite True Rippers winning, like in the individual One Tap God versus Bondef entry fragger battle, I felt like Bondef was getting the better of him more times than the other way around. So I want to see One Tap God as well. Maybe step up the game a little bit because we know Paradox is already feeling it. If your second duelist can also have a field day, then like it might just skew things a little too much in the favor of True Rippers. Now, I will ask you though, like coming into Haven, I want to see a much more aggressive look from True Rippers as a unit. Like they're very aggressive individually, but with that Omen on Haven, especially with the way Shawkame was continuously just he was walking in from mid, like very willing to take the 1v1 battles and getting those one taps. His aim was on point. Like maybe if he had a buddy with him, the buddy system could yield them a lot more value than what was happening in map 1.
That is for sure, especially on Haven, primarily because when you consider the size of the map, playing on the buddy system is just even more important because you cannot rely on your teammates to come on down maybe from the side of A main, heading on down towards the angle of garage to go in for a possible trade. On Ascent, it's very much possible. If a person is holding down mid, and if you die down towards the side of B main, someone can come on down from the side of mid immediately, take that position back, and keep the map control in your favor. But on Haven, that does not happen. It's super important to play down together with your teammates, and having that two-person team play coming down always will give you that advantage nonetheless. And at the same time, I'm really hoping to see a different composition coming on down from the side of True Rippers, because in my SCA, you know for a fact that I don't really dislike the composition. I really feel as though it has a lot of disadvantages and advantages going in for that Jet and Raze combination, especially when you consider the map of Haven, because here is where the Raze is very much iffy, to say the very least. It doesn't really hold a lot of merit in comparison to maybe, let's say, if you had a Phoenix or a Reyna in yours.
Yeah, you need a flash besides the Omen Paranoia on Haven, and that's why the Phoenix really gives you so much value. The amount of utility is able to bring through while sort of matching the impact that Raze gives with her own utility. It's where like he sort of takes the matchup in his advantage, and I do want to see one tap God switching over. I do believe he does play the Phoenix. I think we've seen before in the past him do so, but I'm curious as to how that'll work with the entire team as well, right? Because I felt like in the last game there were a lot more individual plays happening where one tap God and Paradox were trying to create space. We saw a lot of issues where Paradox ended up dashing into site and there was no real support from the team. With a Phoenix coming in, that needs to be refined a lot more, because now there is no option for a follow through on Paradox. There's no double satchels. He needs to make sure that him and his team are on the same page so that the Phoenix can clear off angles that he's not clearing, and vice versa. Like the level of coordination that is needed is going to be paramount. I guess it just sort of adds that extra layer of flavor to the game, because we see from KUCH B, they have that coordination, they had the discipline in the defensive side. So both of the teams with their own strengths, it's just a matter of which team is able to weigh their strength more than the others.
That is for sure. But at the same time, we are giving a lot of highlights down towards the duelist. Let's just talk about the Sentinel player coming on down from the side of True Rippers. Relic, a cipher that is so well known in our region and probably renowned to be one of the best ciphers in our entire region as well. And why is that exactly? Primarily because we saw what happened in map number one. Yes, he was not explosive when it came down to a lot of his frags, but he was a complete anchor on whichever side he held. Doesn't matter what happened, he would have gotten that one kill, maybe done a little bit of damage, maybe try and slow down the push for as long as he possibly could, allowing his teammates to come in for rotation. And at this point, Relic, he was a beast on the map of Ascent. Just imagine what's going to happen on Haven CA, because Haven is Cypher's playground if he opts to go in for the Cypher.
Yeah, I fully expect him to go for the Cypher. Like, the thing I really like most about Relic's Cypher is that he's very, very good at understanding the flow or the pace of the game that the opponent is adapting, and then using that information to really take his traps to the next level. Like, there were moments in Ascent even where like he knew his team was playing retakes, was very willing to play anchor with Trapaz all the way back in Porthouse. Like, he's a player who is very moldable, very malleable, I would say, to the team's necessities and the team's needs to going into a game. And into Haven, as you said, this is the map where, despite the weakness of Cypher in general, this is the map where Cypher really, really thrives. He's able to create pockets of space, and I want to see Relic doing exactly that. I want to see that Lurker come online for Relic, and therefore maybe propel True Rippers to the advantage. But the same has to be said about Meow. Like, on the other side, for Kuchbishi, played beautifully, holding down like as a pure anchor. Like, the discipline it takes to wait in one particular angle for a long period of time and not fall asleep in that angle, like in the gunfights, it's a lot of pressure and a lot of effort. So I'm excited to see how now she's able to sort of carry that strength into the attacking side, because that's where really we saw that there were a couple of things lacking. Like, for both of the teams, things to work on, but given how closely matched they are and given how good they are, I think in overtime is on the cards, Agras.
especially on the map of Haven as well. But I do think there are a couple of technical difficulties from our end, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be back with you real shortly, but don't go anywhere. Make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe button, also grab a couple of snacks as you do wait for it. And we'll be back with you real shortly with the TEC Gauntlet Season 1. See you in a bit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen. We're back into the game in Agent Select right now. As you can see, Meow picking up the Cypher aggressive. Now, I instantly love that. And one tap guard on the Reyna. Now, we wanted a Phoenix, but a Reyna, given his name and his stature, I'm excited to see what he can pull off with that.
That is for sure. And also, it's going to be Crosshair coming on down as well, being the one to take the reins on the solo once again instead of Masters. But here, it's going to be a little bit of a question in my eyes, to say the very least, of what we can expect coming out from the Omen versus Astra pickup. And once again, looking at the side of True Rippers, you can already see the primary problem of their composition. They have no forms of utility versus a lot of utility coming on down from the side of KUCH.
I mean, it's like throwing down the gauntlet. Be like, you know what? We respect the fact that you have a lot of utility. We understand that's how you want to play the game. For us, we are very strong with our aim. We want to be able to pick our agents that give us individual advantages. Like, that's what the Reyna does. That's what even the Omen does as compared to the Astra. A lot more individual agency in those agents, and that's what True Rippers are going to look to really leverage as they come into this map. It's gonna come down to individual performances for True Rippers, and maybe, just maybe, if they can add that extra tinge of team glue, use those individual performances together, create a sort of synchronized play that could take them to the next level. For KUCH, though, a very standard Astra, a Phoenix Cypher combination will mean that we get to see a lot of default plays. I'm excited to see how the fight for A lobby especially turns out, because that's one of the biggest power points for the defenders. If True Rippers can manage to hold on to that, or vice versa, it adds a lot of advantages to the one side.
Considering that, with the side of True Rippers being on the defensive side, it may or may not work out in their favor, because their composition that they picked up, yes, it would have been a lot more powerful, to say the very least, on their own attacking side. And if they had that side advantage in their favor, I really do think if they were able to take it down at the bare minimum to a 9-3 or even an 8-4, they would have had a strong chance of not down forward. But now that it's going to be the side of KUCH on their first attacking side, they are the ones at the driver's seat. And if they are able to take us down to an 8-3, I'm really thinking that in the long run, True Rippers that at a massive disadvantage. But at the same time, just as I was talking, Meow's going to be able to get one kill. But Paradox is a double coming on down from the sidelines. Beautifully done, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, Bondep, he's going to chime in with his own kill. And with that already, it's a 3 versus 3 situation, seeing. The match just started, and it could just be already over.
Down.
Pokey just lost in the astral plane. I think did not check backside at all. Crosshair able to take him out, and Crosshair is still with his utility. He's gonna get a lot of info on this arrow. Pasha dashing into him, taking him out. Now one tap got from the garage, he finds one but misses the other shots. The crouch from Pasha Sal throwing him off guard will mean it's down to 1v1. Relic last man standing. Now a plant minimally faked. I don't think the noise was enough, but Relic knows that something's going down. Pasha does too. His spidey senses tingling. He feels something coming in from the garage. Goes for the peek, finds the headshot, and that's a clutch. That was a round of a lot of topsy-turvy emotions. Like Paradox, first of all, coming in aggressively from that mid push, joined by one tap god and Shakim. They were able to make the push happen through window, but then the dash, he failed the dash, ran into the wall, got punished, and it became a 3v3. Pokey getting punished, I thought that might have been the end of it, but Pasha comes up huge aggressive. 3 kills to get a clutch, starting KUCH off on the right note.
Beautifully done from Pasha. And with that first initial pickup, it's gonna be a really tough spot towards the side of True Rippers, ladies and gentlemen, of Paradoxes. He wants to go in aggressive and he wants to take as many form of advantages as he possibly can. Bondef making his way down towards the angle for us. First initial curveball should be going on through, but Bondef is actually opting to go in for the Phantom pickup, and this Phantom pickup is just so deadly if he loses out on it. Meow's gonna be the first one to be able to take that kill away from the back end, but Crosshair, yet his Crosshairs ready for Pokey. Shuts him down once again, and honestly at this point, right after the first 2 rounds, we can see that Crosshair is Pokey's kryptonite. That is for sure on the back end. Pasha coming on now from the silence, being able to take down one tap god. Crosshair trying to go in for a couple of his own plays. Gonna be able to find another headshot. He's looking for one more, but he's not gonna be able to find it. The cross is coming on down from the side of Meow, being able to shut him on down. Tripwire comes on through, but Paradox says had his phone number, calls him up, then calls her up, and takes her out almost immediately. And with that first initial pickoff, True Rippers, they're at the driver's seat, 1 versus 2 on the map. And with Pasha holding it down from the back end of Hubby, from the C-long position, Paradoxes, he's trying to be aggressive, and this aggression could just cost him pretty much everything. They need to play it slow, they need to play it systematically, wait for the plan to go on through before opting to go in for a rotation. But Pasha, he's playing it so beautifully, slowly but surely making his way down towards that seaside. He can go in for an easy plan, sure enough, but Relic, his position is already known. He's ready for it. Here's the footsteps and the plan going on down through. Relic opting to go in for those shots, does a little bit of damage, and packs him down to half HP. He has nowhere to run, and Paradoxes just slaps a bullet into his skull to take him on out. 1-1 of the scorecards at a thrifty round as well, CA. Honestly, my MVP for this round has to be Crosshair.
Yeah, Crosshair coming up huge for the side of True Rippers, but like, my eyes go to Bondef. Like, it's a very questionable decision. Taking the Phantom solo into the garage area, it's the garage, especially the angle he's looking for a much more close range fight. When you buy that Phantom in that second round, you're trying to really cause damage, given the fact that you expect the other team to be on much more short range weapons with the pistols. You want to take advantage of the long range fights, or you want to at least get it down to mid range, where if they have a Spectre, maybe you can win out. Doing neither, getting caught out, Paradox finding him out, and then getting the weapon later, I feel like is the crux of why it went wrong for KUCH in that round. And now Pasha, he has a weapon to his name, he's able to pick up a double. They're trying to go it down. He in, of course, they have the buys, but Shakim coming up huge. He's picked up the double. Now through B, they're gonna get the one. They have A-Link and C-Link, which makes Crosshair important, but he goes down, leaving Shakim in a 1v3. This map is full chaos.
Started, and it feels as though both of the teams are just toying with our feelings at this stage. And Sharkade is looking for an ace on his side lane. Now going on down to a 1 versus 2 situation. He has all of his utility to work with. Again, opt to go in for that paranoia, shut everyone down, but he's playing it smart. He's playing it systematic, understanding that, hey, maybe someone's pushing me down from the angle of garage, but no one's opting to go for it just yet. Paranoia still in hand, and opt to go in for that play, but Bondep instead is going to be waiting inside of the smoke like a smoke criminal to take him on down out, and that's going to be another reverse trophy round coming on down for the side of KUCH, ladies and gentlemen. And it seems as though it's a tipsy-turvy ride once again. It's a 1-2 scoreline, and both of the teams have enough to go in for proper buys. I do believe, actually no, it's gonna be a couple of members opting to go in for that buy, while everyone else is opting to go in for that save. And Paradoxes, soon enough, we could just see an operator coming down from him as well.
Yeah, that round absolutely huge for KUCH. The fact that they managed to pull it out, all due to Pasha Sahil, already 8-2 right now. He is carrying a lot of weight when it comes to the space he's able to create for his team. Now all of KUCH stacked up, trying to make this deep push happen, leaving Meow solo on the look. They spotted out one tap god.
Oh no!
I think the bit of a connection issue. Paradox though with the Marshall, he's able to find one kill. A couple of his buddies do go down though, so that does mean KUCH have a huge advantage. Paradox just fishing, trying to make something happen, but will not find anything. Instead, will reset himself, will pull out the Blade Storm, and now on the retake, it's all about what damage can they do.
Paradox making his way down forward, but that smoke is not going to cover all of his angles. Bondif instead is just going to be the one to take him on down out from the back end crosshair. Not going to be able to find out much with Relic fighting the bullet as well. 1-3 on the scorecards already, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, no harm, no foul, I would say at the very least, because that was an eco round. So at the very least, they got a tiny little bit of damage. Getting that 1 kill really does help in the long run in the macro state of things. But at the same time, now is where the real excitement begins, because Paradoxus, he's going to pull out his operator. And with that operator pickup now coming on through from his side, you can expect what can happen, to say the very least, for the side of True Rippers. If he shows the same level of caliber and skill that he did previously on map number 1, the side of KUCH, they're in a world of hurt.
Absolutely. Like, I think coming into this round, we do have a bit of a tech issue, so we are going to go into a pause. As you probably noticed, One Tap God has faced that problem, but that's okay. We have the time to talk about the real mess that ended up happening in the first few rounds. Like, from the get-go, True Rip was very aggressive in the pistol. They went all guns blazing, they went for the aggressive push, and it did not end up working out because Pasha Sahil got the clutch. Now, that's Pasha Sahil clutching round 1. Then round 2, True Rippers out of nowhere capitalizing on Bondev's mistake, able to pick that Phantom up on Paradox, get the round back, but Pasha Sahil coming back with a vengeance in round 3 meant that, like, both of these teams in what are supposed to be equals for each other, they end up winning, and that gives KUCH a platform to stabilize themselves using really the way Pasha Sahil is playing right now. They have a 2-round advantage, but as you said, last round was an eco for True Rippers. It's gonna be the op now. If they can, KUCH can win this round, all the worries we had about their attacking side, they will be gone.
That is for sure. KUCH, they have a lot to prove, but at the same time, trying to circumvent the operator coming on down from the side of Paradoxus will be the hardest task to face, especially after what happened on map number 1. Yes, I know I'm really bringing that up constantly, but at one stage, whenever you face a player that is that proficient with that operator and just that deadly, and if he brings the same level of potency down to the second map as well, you're going to be in a pretty tough spot. And as we're waiting for One Tap God to come on back and reconnect into the match, I'm going to give you this question. Considering the fact that there's not really a lot of utility present for the side of True Rippers, what do you think they should do? In my eyes, maybe going in for a lot of aggressive pushes could be the only way they win out on their own defensive side.
I mean, when I think back to that sort of playstyle, I instantly think of a team like Samurai Esports, the way they sort of pair their duelists up to gain ground together. With Paradox on the op, One Tap God can be the, like, Paradox can be the contact that One Tap God can swing on, try to really find advantages for each other, creating space for that sniper to push up while having the backup of that Reyna. That means that even if you are in a situation where you think you might be getting pushed on, you have the flash throw and just bounce back. It gives the duelists a lot of room to play off each other, especially considering the fact that this is not the old Reyna. You still get your soul orbs even if your teammate gets the kill, so it gives a lot of room for her as well to maneuver, and you can try to play that on A or C. I prefer it on A, with the Reyna coming down on sewers, Paradox playing the A long with the operator. That way, if they clear off A lobby, they can pick up the alt point for themselves too. That gives their teammates, like, you can play the Cypher Anchor on C side and then double stack that mid area. It gives you a lot more room to control the mid, and I think that's what they need to do. But obviously, KUCH are not going to give it away for free. So I hope to see a lot of battles happening around the A and C areas.
Especially when you consider that Haven is a map purely based upon map control. The more map control one team has, the better their side is going to be. Especially when you consider the side of defense. If you're able to establish aggressive control down near any of the silos, as you just stated, it's all but over. And at that point, you're just forcing the enemy team down a single road, being like, hey, we have seaside control. If you want to fight for the seaside, at the bare minimum, 2 of your team members are going to die out if we don't miss our shots. That basically is going to be a deterrent for all the members of the side of the attack, being like, hey, maybe we should not go to C, maybe we should go to A. But hey, if you go towards the side of A, there are 3 members already waiting there to take you down out before you can even enter down into the site. This is just a psychological warfare at that point, being like, I have this part of the map under my control. Do you want to push it? Yes or no? And if you don't push it, if you go down towards the other side, we have other members of our team ready to take you down in a matter of seconds. All these factors will be coming into play in the long run, but here is where the real question will start to arise. how will True Rippers establish that map control? Because you do need to remember they don't have utility to stop any sort of these aggressive pushes to come on through. Let's say a person is walking on down towards the side of C long. If immediately the attackers go in for a swing, there is nothing to stop them. There is no way for you to make that push very safe for you, and you need to purely be ready and rely on your gunfights to take that first initial kill to give you that advantage so you have the time to even go for a proper position down towards that C long side, hold down that copy, and slowly make your push forward towards the side of Swan. You don't have that form of luxury. If one small misplay comes on down through for the side of True Rippers, it's all but over for them. And that's exactly what happened in round number 3. They were very aggressive down towards the side of mid, and Pasha's like, oh, I see 2 heads. I just click them both. It's already over. We get the spike plant down on B, and it's just an easy post plant for us to take a win.
Yeah, we will see if True Rippers can sort of rein themselves in. Like for me, it is that sort of edge, like how you toe the edge, really, how you man that line, where you need to be that aggressive to take control. Because as you talked about, a map full of just the idea of playing Haven, all about that map control. If you're not aggressive, you're not going to be able to take that. You need to be continuously proactive. But at the same time, you need to maintain a balance. You can't just be aggressive every single round from the same position, because players like Pasha Sahil, who are insanely talented, will punish you. Like, all they need is a pixel to really punish. Like, both of the kills, I believe in the last round, he got through wall banks as well. Like, he's able to track well perfectly where he expects his opponent to go, and that's absolutely humongous. So for True Rippers, they do need to rein themselves in, but considering the fact that Paradox got 37 kills last game, he popped the hell off. I'm not gonna say rein it in too much, you know. Still play your own style, still be comfortable in what you're able to do, and maybe that's how you will be able to come out on top. Now, I do think we are going to be solving the issues real quick, but we'll be back really soon with the match between True Rippers and KUCH B with the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen. Don't go anywhere, we'll see you soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen. I was just messing with you. We're ready already. Our production team and our avid team all point to get us going, which will mean we're right into the map here. It's the full buy, the operator coming out for Paradox. And again, they're trying to take mid control. He took the first shot towards mid, but now he's going to float on through. Joined Relic in that A side area, while one tap god himself holds down mid. KUCH B, on the other hand, much more passive. They're letting Bondef go by himself, try to create some space. Once he's able to establish some presence, they'll play off on that.
Now, with that hole going on down already, Paradox is slowly creeping his way down forward with that operator! That's such a beautiful shot down on the Pasha as well. Shuts him down already. And without that jet in your arsenal, you're gonna have a pretty rough time, to say the very least, to make the push happen on your side itself. Bondef, still aggressive positioning of his own, but Paradox, he's just ready for it. He just smells Bondef in that corner and takes him on down already. And CA, just as the round started, we're already down to a 5 versus 3 situation.
One shot, the first top fragger. Second shot, the second fragger. Both duelists out for True Rippers in a matter of 2 bullets. Paradox showing his utter dominance on that weapon. Like, it's becoming scary at this point to even peek any angle, and that weighs in so much of the way the team plays. But right now, KUCH B going all in on the B side push. They get one, but the trades are there. The dismissed huge one tap god. He's able to get out, but Meow gets one. Now it's one tap god looking for more. He's able to pick up one more. Knows that Juven is here, and Juven with just 6 HP. All it's gonna take is a Colossus. Paradox picks up the triple, will display his really nice looking double knife set as well to just close off the round in style.
I honestly love this set, and I wish I was able to buy this as soon as it came out. I'm gonna wait for the night market or maybe like a discount deal, some shape or form, to try and buy this. This is number 1 on my list, primarily because of how cool it looks. And honestly, in the hands of Paradox, him just going in for those swings, him just going in for those plays to shut everyone down, Just goes to show how deadly this guy is. And with the momentum now back in the favor of True Rippers, here is where they need to make their stand to say the very least. And with that, one tap god trying to be a little too aggressive, could be biting him a bit more than he could chew if he's not careful. One tap up, going for the swing for the backhand corner across there. He's already ready. He got baited into the waiting arms of the Sova from the sidelines. It's gonna be Paradoxes with one more. One tap god coming in with his own one taps and a body shot and swing down another one. Going in for a re-swing, a little bit questionable to say the very least. Meow's gonna be the one to take him on out. And with that, it's already a 4 versus 2 situation. See it. Things look dark for the side of KUCH.
Yeah, 4 versus 1. Paradox makes that and leaves Meow the last woman standing. At this point, like, she can't really achieve much. She just needs to try and get some damage or maybe even save the weapon. She actually ends up going for the peak, and it's a Relic ready with the angle, picks up the kill, and will pick up the round for True Rippers. Back-to-back fashion with the consecutive wins. They are in now a much more comfortable position in terms of economy. With this win especially, like, the economic advantage that they've got will mean that even if they lose one round at any point, they will still be able to afford an operator Paradox, and that's huge considering the impact he's able to continuously get. Especially when you look back at the last round, it felt like KUCH B gave the fights to True Rippers exactly where they wanted it, and True Rippers willing to capitalize. I want to see KUCH B play a lot more split up, try to get some information for yourself, then commit to one particular area.
Completely agree with you. And it feels as though KUCH B, they're trying to do exactly that, but at the same time, they're taking this in themselves too much. They're going in for the same play over and over again. Paradox is playing it aggressive, understanding that, hey, I need to be the one to make a play. I need to try and establish as much space as I possibly can for my team to get an advantage for our side. Sharkin going in for that swing, but he's not ready for the fight. He gets taken on out, but from the sidelines, it's gonna be Crosser coming in down with Honor Spirit and one tap gone with a spray and a couple of his own one taps. Right from the sideline, gets another kill down of the movement, shutting everyone down, coming on down from the side of the heavens, flying through like a majestic angel. It's gonna be Paradoxes with Crosser on his side to take down Pasha. And with that, it's a 4-3 scoreline already, and it feels as though, CA, the round is just starting, and it's already over before we can even finish talking. Why did that rhyme? I don't know.
I have to say though, I see a bit of disconnect in KUCH B. Like the way the round, so as you can see on the replay, as soon as Bondev gets this kill on Sharkin, he's like go go go. He wants to get into the side, but his team is nowhere close. They're actually just entering garage, which means by the time he's in sight, his team gets flashed by one tap god in the Reina, who's trying to get the trade for his teammate going down in Sharkin, and one tap god just actually gets a double kill for free, playing it very well. That sort of disconnect forcing KUCH B a little bit, and more importantly, the True Rippers taking full advantage, but the eco means that KUCH B ready to come out swinging. The Blade Storm use with Bondef going forward aggressively means they got Seaside for themselves. They're gonna try to go in, but caught in the actual plane. One tap god finds the first, looking for more. The running back cloak shut down, trying to get the wall bang, but he missed his buy. And it's now 3v4, but actually make that 2v4 aggressive. KUCH B coming out huge this round.
This stage, possibly going in for a save, wouldn't be that bad of an idea considering the HP numbers that you do have. Juban from the sidelines, he has the advantage and he can easily go in for this kill. Relic, he's not suspecting a damn thing, and Paradoxes, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the hard place are 3 angry players on the side of KUCH B. Basher coming in with that Blaze Storm, slaps a dagger into his face, takes him out and picks an operator for himself. And with that 50 round on the board now for their side, they're gonna be in a pretty happy spot to say the very least, but at the same time, no harm, no foul as well from the side of True Rippers, because that execution was just so fast and so clean that none of the members of the side of True Rippers, they were ready for any of it.
Absolutely, like KUCH B just came right out of the the start of the round, just swinging the Blade Storm for Pasha Sahil, allowing Bondev to really use his aggressiveness that we've seen in multiple rounds. He likes to go forward, but this time with the buddy, meaning that one of them is bound to get the kill. When neither of them ends up dying, it just opens up the site like a can of beans. And True Rippers, not able to respond. Now getting a little flustered in their positions. Untap God ventures out, tries to find something, but he gets taken out, and that body will mean Meow's hat will come off. They get all the information they need, and so much information so early in the round. I mean, you can see KUCH B really manipulating the strings now. to go and get onto A, where Relic is all alone.
Level of aggression is just a little bit too much, seemingly from the side of True Rippers, ladies and gentlemen, and they're playing the ultimate prize for it. But Relic, he has an Odin in his hand, and he's looking to go in for a couple of his own plays from the back end. But Meow on the lurk, she's able to do so much. But Paradox says he's having a field day. He's just shutting them down before they can even blink. Paradox going on. This operator, he is an absolute beast, ladies and gentlemen. 2 versus 2 on the map, going on through for their side. Pokey still still kicking as well. Has the Cosmic Divide and has one more star to work with, to say the very least. Opting to use this star is what he needs to try and do. And use it the best way possible. Opting to use it for a smoke, a little bit questionable to say the very least. Maybe holding it down for a gravity well instead would have been better, but still no harm, no foul. All the members from the side of True Rippers are making their way from the back end of C Long. And with that first initial tripwire now revealing their position, they know exactly where to look at. They know exactly where the spike is planted as well. And they know for a fact all the members are going to be holding on down from the back end of side. They need to go in for the play quick. They need to go in for it right here and right now. The shots are going to be waiting on it. The halfway defuse, there's not really enough time. So an Odin is not going to be helping out whatsoever. Relic in that round in particular. The operation now in the hands of Pokies. They're going to be able to save it on out. And such a beautiful round as well. Coming on down from the brink of defeat almost. It's gonna be the side of KUCH being able to take it all away for their side.
I'm a little confused by why Relic went for the diffuse there. Like, he is the first person to spot out Meow and Pokey. Like, with the Odin especially, I would have liked to see him go for this peek and spam rather than Paradox, who's on the operator. But we know Paradox. He's feeling himself. He likes taking those aggressive peeks. And unfortunately, it seems that one tap God just will not comply. Like, the internet possibly going down again. It's okay though, it gives us a bit of time, because now looking back at that last round and looking back at all the resources used, I noticed that Pokey's Cosmic Divide is still up. It can mean that they can use that Cosmic Divide to aggressively execute, especially on Haven. If you go for the longer Cosmic Divide that splits the site into 2 on C side, it's just absolutely humongous for that Phoenix, who can then use that wall to sort of flash in, enter CT, and just take full control for himself. I want to see KUCH B do that, but given the fact that they have Pasha Sahil on the operator, they're probably going to do a delayed execute. Let him try to use some time, maybe find a pick for himself, then go the execute and take them out.
Looking on down forward to this round in particular, I'm really hoping that the aggression from the side of True Rippers gets rained down just a tiny little bit. Yes, we were both asking them to be very aggressive, try and establish a lot of map control, but at the same time, you do have to remember something. A little bit too much aggression can hurt, and the fact that they were losing out on a lot of the rounds is primarily due to that form of aggression. Yes, being aggressive is very important when you have the composition that you have on your side, but when you become predictable with that aggression is when you face a lot of the problems. But I really do have to say, when it comes down to True Rippers, I commend the effort that they're putting into it. Being able to get the 4 rounds they have already gotten basically means that they still have a lot of fight in them. They have the strategy book open to go in for a couple of different plays, and hopefully this time around they play it a lot more defensively, and that's exactly what they're doing. They understand that, hey, maybe if we play for a retake instead, understanding our composition, being much more execution heavy and purely basing upon our aim, maybe we can rain down our aggression, take it slow, take it steady, play for those type of picks. And Paradox, he knows exactly what's up. He's playing mind games right now with the side of KUCH B, understanding that, hey, I can go in aggressive, I can get some information, I can get back out. And with that first initial pickoff, True Rippers, they understand that the seaside push is already coming, and they need to be careful because Crosshair, he's on his lonesome, and the rush is just about to start.
That drone was huge. Not only does he now know that Meow was there, but the off shot going off means he knows that the rest of the team is likely here. Crosshair trying to hold on. The shot darts are huge. They do the damage, but the darts aren't enough. The bullets come out from KUCH B. One taps all the way through to pick up the kills for themselves, leave Relic as the last man standing. Like, in that position, like in that execute, I feel like Crosshair could have gone for the spam after one shock dart rather than maybe the double shock darts. Could have given some help to his duo buddy in the side hold, or maybe just gone for full retake. Either way is not being committed. But Relic right now going in for the place. He's already found 2. We've seen him do this before. Pulls off the hat, got all the information he needs. Note that there's one in garage and one in long. Gonna go for the garage. Just needs to win this duel. Going to look at the left. trying to figure out if Bondev is playing the mind games, but now Bondev keeps it simple. He's just waiting in an aggressive wide peak for Relic to show through. As soon as he does, he takes him out. That's a 2-round lead picked up for KUCH, and True Rippers really starting to feel the brunt of losing these rounds. Their eco is going to be in Tato's aggressive. A 4 spy likely to come on through considering that this is the 10th round, but if you lose this, it's effectively 4-8.
Pretty much at that point, especially when you consider Paradox now opting to use his knives with just a frenzy in hand. It still means that yes, maybe he's gonna have enough to go in for a proper buy in the following round, but his teammates are not gonna have the same level of power and potency. Paradox opted to use those guys in a little bit of a questionable manner. We don't talk about that, but here moving on down forward, he needs to try and get a kill. The shotguns are going to be waiting on him, dealing a lot of damage down towards him. Crosshair, he was not ready for any of that. Meow coming in with a flame, being able to take down one, but the shots are going to be raining in. Supreme, one tap god, just tapping people away. Down with that bulldog in his hand, Pasha on the back end, and he's just playing mind games now. He's waiting for his teammate to go on through. He's going to left, he's going to right, and one tap god comes in with a 4K to clean everyone up. That is one tap god, ladies and gentlemen. 5 and 6 on the scorecards, and he makes the difference for his team. He holds down the fort, he kills everyone, and he gets the round for his side. 5 and 6 on the scorecard already. And see, you know for a fact what would happen if it goes down to a 6 and 6. Not only will it be deja vu, it's gonna be a clean slate round for both of their sides, and there is nothing better that the side of True Rippers can ask for other than a cleans.
And that last round reminded me of like one of those movies where there's an action fight and everyone's just sitting silently waiting for something to happen. But as soon as something happens, like domino effect, and everything goes ham. Like they're trying to chase Paradox down for that one mistake he made, ended up costing them the round. One tap guard coming up huge, and Pasha whiffing a little bit there, but winning that round, as we talked about earlier, aggressive does mean that they have the better weapons now and they're utilizing that fully. Running back starts the round off with one def, but it's actually Pokey who gets punished and no Astra, meaning no control. They're going in without the smokes and they're getting punished. One tap guard is having a field day, laughing over them, but Meow comes up huge, he finds a double, and with Bonda finding another, the info is going to come through for KUCH from a situation where one tap guard was running all over them. They pull out the advantage, and now in a 2v3, they're going to try to get this one.
Spike planted.
Para is here. Paradox looking for something, but they almost know it. They sense it, aggressive.
Paradox slowly but surely making a sweep down towards the side of this long angle. The skill was just so important for the side of Relics, and him not being able to find it basically meant that Meow can go in for a swing. And with that moment of confusion already going on through, a little bit of a hurtful situation for the side of True Rippers, but still, hey, no harm, no foul. 5 and 7 on the scorecards, considering their composition is much more attacking side favored, they did really well. They can ask for nothing better than maybe a 6 and 6 or an 8 and 4 on them having the lead in some way, shape, or form, but commendable effort from both sides. And now for the side of KUCH, yes, their composition has become a lot more stronger when it comes down to their own defensive side, but they need to try and use their abilities much more in conjunction together. And if their combos are not proficient enough, it's just not going to be working out in their favor. They need to be careful in the way they use a lot of their utilities because their entire defensive hold relies on them using their utility properly.
All members of True Rippers right now on this A side, they're looking for something to happen, and they're using the drone to push it all the way through. Paradox now entering onto this side will be in the duel, but it's Juwin and Pasha Sahil finding one each. Shocking answers back with 2 more, though it's topsy-turvy all around as Pasha Sahil will now back up only 22 HP, gives up the site, gets the call from his teammates like, hey, you survived, now you just need to back off, get out of the site, let them plant, it's completely okay, we'll use our numbers advantage to then force the retake and pick up the round for ourselves. Now True Rippers, they will take their time, they'll clear out the site, but the plant will go down, and then it will be that 3v2 retake. It's just a matter of can True Rippers surprise them. Shocking moving in. If he can pick up one kill here, it would be humongous. But he knows that it's very risky. Instead, just gonna set up the smoke back off the plant to go down right about now.
This is smart coming out from them. He actually opted to go in for smoke down towards the side of C to try and sell a fake, but looking at the positioning coming on down from the side of Meow, she's feeding so much information down towards her teammates that, hey, there's no one down towards the side of C. That smoke is gonna be a fake. You don't have to worry about anything. And with Crosshair now being down to a 1 versus 3 scenario. Things would get quite difficult for him, but at the same time, Pasha is at very low levels of HP. Not going to be able to find out much. Meow in a pretty tough position of her own. She's not going to be able to get much down on the back end. Crosshair now jiggling it left, jiggling it right. Goes in for those shots. He's going to be able to take down one more shot guard in hand. 3 bullets and a dream. Up is going for a reload right in front of Pokey. He's playing by feet. He's going in left. He's going in right and cross. He comes in for that beautiful clutch 6 and 7 on the scorecard, and Crosshair, he's feeling himself. He is ecstatic, and he is probably jumping out of his chair at this stage.
Holy moly. Crosshair, what was that? 1v3 stuck in the side, swarmed from all angles. His position known, the recon even failing. Like literally everything that could have gone wrong in the lead up to that round. His buddy dying, his recon failing. It did go wrong, but Crosshair solidified his presence. 1v3 finds the perfect duels. Taking out the sewers player first was absolutely paramount because it gave him the 1v1, allowed to use the default boxes to then split the 1v2 into separate 1v1s, using the shock dart perfectly, getting so much damage out of it to clutch the round. And this is going to be such a great momentum boost as well as eco boost for True Rippers. You can see the Spectres coming out, Relic going in ham, Paradox will join him. They've already picked up the triple and the hype is real. True Rippers are going to come out swinging.
He's from the back end, he's looking for a kill, but he's not going to be able to find it. The right clicks are not supreme always, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, that's going to be a flawless round coming on down already for the side of True Rippers. Beautifully done from their side. And now it's just a full-on bonus here. And you know for a fact, bonuses are just so crucial. And here is where the snowball effect will start for the side of True Rippers. If they're able to win out on this round in particular, things are going to get a lot more harder for KUCH. Not only will they lose out when it comes down to the terms of economy, they're going to be forced onto another eco. It's going to be an advantageous lead for the side of True Rippers because at that point, it's pretty much a 9 and 7 because you're not going to be able to contest it unless you go in for a couple of proper Sheriff buys or maybe even a Spectre buy to go in for that advantageous duel. And with the gun disadvantage already going on favor, Juven's going to be coming on out with a double ding of his own with Bondef on the silence hitting a kill down on the Paradoxes. Shutting everyone down, and Bondef, he's just angry. This guy is just angry at this point.
Crosshair and one tap god, last one standing. Nice tap from one tap god, picks up one, but one tap taking his teammate out will mean that he has to go for the kills. Both of his opponents are really low, but one tap god does end up going down. Juven takes him out. I have to give props to KUCH for the call there. I really like the gamble down at A. If you notice, they started the round with Pasha Sile saving while the rest of them went for the buys because he was on 5 out of 6 ult points. They leveraged that A long push. Given the fact that they hadn't seen True Rippers really take A lobby control, they put up a smoke, got him the ult point for free, and the late reaction from True Rippers not expecting when that Relic also ended up going down rather than lurking towards the A side. Pasha Sile got his Blade Storm and KUCH got their kills to win that buy round for themselves. Now that was a bonus for True Rippers, so they will get another shot at evening up the lead as well as the economy, but they're trying to take the ult offs and they're shown how to contest by KUCH. Crosshair taken down to 26 HP. Did get the ult point, but no ult available just yet, meaning that the trade completely advantageous for the side of KUCH. But look at this. Paradox able to get around the cage, no noise given. A jet and a lurk, not what you see regularly aggressive, but this position for Paradox could be huge.
This is so crucial as well, considering a couple of internet difficulties coming on down from the side of one tap god. This is pretty much pretty much a 3 versus 5 scenario moving on forward to this matchup. Paradox, he needs to try and make a play though at this stage, and with that first initial position already known, Paradox, he knows exactly where Focus is holding, and he's gonna be able to find one more beautiful shot. He's looking for that skill down on the Meow, and he's gonna be able to find it. A double kill coming on down for the side of Paradox, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, True Rippers, they have all the advantages on their arsenal going on down to this 3 versus 3 scenario. Bondef slowly making his way down from the angle of Garage. Pasha with only 56 HP. He's holding him down from the back end, but Crosshair, he's low on his own accord as well. He needs to try and hold down the fort. The ultimate has been bombed, and they know exactly where Bondef is. He's gonna be holding it down from the back end, but the Hunter Spirit is still gonna be able to find him on out. Now down to a 3 versus 2 situation on the map. Sorry, a 2 versus 2 situation, with Juven getting that kill down onto Paradoxes, but Crosshair chimes in with his own kill. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it could just be all but over. Pasha saving that operator would be the better choice here because they do not have enough money to go in for proper buys next round. And even when they had the man disadvantage, it felt as though True Rippers, they're ready for all of this, and they were able to take this round right out of the hands of the side.
That flick from Paradox after he killed the camera to kill Pokey down over at the logs area. Almost a 180-degree flick right onto the head with that Phantom to get the kill. That was some nasty shooting from Paradox. With the same flow, he was able to get another before going down. He said he had to make a play in that situation, and a play he did. His team coming up huge to follow up on that play to secure the round and hold on strong. They invested what they had to make it even Stevens despite the tech issues from one tap guard. Going 8-8 into this matchup. True Rippers displaying that they have the fortitude and the determination to push through whatever challenges await them, and it's Paradox at the forefront. Moving in aggressively. I do see some movement from One Tap God, so he is back. It will be a 5v5, and One Tap God might actually inadvertently end up catching Meow out on the map. They're both right on the next 14. So Gilbert and One Tap God. Oh my god, RNGs is blessing them huge.
This is like, you know, the person when we're in a ranked game, the enemy team calls out, hey, one person AFK. You make that push happen, and he's not AFK. I'm pretty sure Meow at this point is also feeling the same amount of pressure, but still, Bondam, he's got a world of hurt. He wants to go in for that fight, but he's gonna pay for that fight with his own life. Relic comes in from the sidelines, take that kill. And with that, it's already going down to a 5 versus 3 situation, ladies and gentlemen. And at this stage, opting to go in for the save would be the best possible option. A 3-man save basically means that they're going to have enough guns to go in for the following fight properly, with the other remaining members opting to go in for Spectre buy. So inadvertently, they do have a proper force buy in their arsenal to keep the fight going for their end. Even though now that the round lead is going in favor of the side of True Rippers, here is where they are going to be able to make their stand, and if they lose out in this following consecutive round, CA, things could be dark for the side of KUCH.
Absolutely, like this next round is going to be huge. They're making the save happen, especially with the operators, so that they can get those weapons through. And with Pasha Sahil taking out one tap guard, a little bit of damage as well. So it does mean that now going into the next round, KUCH should be able to afford at least the semi-buys throughout the team. They're going to have to just invest all of their money into this round, because otherwise it's going to be a very difficult situation for their team. Now, I do think we have a tactical timeout actually, and that gives us a moment to really talk about what we can expect from True Rippers coming on forward and what they have played so far aggressive. Like the style for True Rippers on attack has continuously been rely on one tap guard and Paradox to really create the space, but make sure that the team is around at the same time to be able to get the trades if necessary. They're willing to translate aggressive control gained by their entry flaggers into sites, and they're comfortable with the fact that they are looking for the trades. I think that is the point that KUCH really needs to try to affect, because you either need to play on a retake against that sort of squad or heavily commit, gamble, like maybe put a 3-stack down onto the side so you can hold on, because otherwise, True Rippers, they're just going to keep aggressively pushing and try to overwhelm KUCH.
Completely agree with you on that. And also, it feels as though there's a lot left to be desired for when it comes down to the utility usage from the side of KUCH as well. Yes, it's really good coming on down from the side of Pokey's, but at the same time, it feels as though he's not using his utility to cut off any form of backup that could be coming on down in from a push. For example, if Paradoxes dashes down into a site, then use your gravity well, stop everyone down at that choke point, use that smoke, block off those angles, allow your teammates to go in for those isolated 1v1 fights. But it feels as though he's using his utility a little bit too early, and the timings are just not matching. When you have so much utility in your arsenal, you can use it to disrupt the movements of the enemy team, but that's not what's happening here. That's what's causing them to lose out on a lot of the rounds. But at the same time, look at the positioning of Bondem. Bondem's gonna say, Peekaboo, I see you. You're no longer the boogeyman. I'm the boogeyman instead. The Molly's gonna come out down through as well, and Bondem, he's playing it smart. He understands that, hey, if I go and pick up this gun, that's going to make a lot of noise, and that's going to cost me my life. Understanding about the man advantage, he backs on off, make sure that he is able to live and give his team the man advantage to go on down 4 to 5 versus 4 situation. Paradox, it does get spotted on us, but the outrunner, no one's opting going for the push. Just, yeah, the shotguns are going to be really got dead, and he's like, nah, I'm dipping. I heard that shock dart, and I don't want that 90 damage in my face.
Round has reset itself, but the numbers advantage remains for the side of KUCH. They're holding their positions. They're not willing to go out further, and they're expecting the A side push. This Bondef position is going to be huge. If he can get an opening kill, will be revealed by the recon though. So the fact that it's broken is huge. Now the flash is coming through. They're trying to move in. Paradox the bait as they try to take him out. The rest of the team comes in through the sewers. Relic takes out one, and Paradox following up with another, meaning the neural theft will give them all the information they need to play on the post plans. Look at Paradox aggressive. He's aggressively going for the flank. Knows that he has very little HP, so wants to be that clutch coming in towards the end. Notices that this is a trapper, so he will move out. But now back to this side. Meow from heaven, a nice one tap to take down Crosshair. For the side of True Rippers and Relic here, it's just about he needs to buy as much time as he can for Paradox to come through on the flank. Relic, he gets one kill, and now just waiting through the space trying to get. But Washasai takes him down. Paradox, the triggered discipline was good, but perhaps a little too much. Takes out Pasha, but Meow there to trade it off. Meaning it's 9-9 on the board. These teams just as close with each other as they were on map 1.
Timing not really working out in their favor, because I understand what Paradox was trying to do. He wanted to go in for that slow push coming on down. He wanted both of them in his crosshair vicinity to line everything up, but Relic, he died out a little bit too early. Maybe playing it a little bit more defensively would have given him that edge, but at the same time, no harm, no foul. Really good try coming on down from the side of True Rippers. But now, coming on down towards the money side of things, can already see that even though they were able to win out on the last round, they're not out of the gutter just yet. KUCH, they're in a pretty tough spot to say the very least when it comes down to their economy. While for the side of True Rippers, they have a lot to work with considering their win streak bonus!
Oh
Sharky, you just did not do that. Sharky, you just did not do that.
Yeah, I don't think Juven is expecting it at all. You usually expect the Omen to go onto site in pro play, not into the spawn, but Shockwave able to surprise them. One tap dot, he's able to get one soul orb, uses the Empress to reposition himself, and that's the spike planted in a 4v4 situation now as KUCH prime themselves up for the retake. It's gonna be Pokey trying to set up the smokes as well as the concusses. I would like to see a gravity well come on down for the hell area, but that's misplaced. It doesn't actually displace the hell player, and that will mean one tap got able to hold on through. It is a 2-for-2 trade though, as Master Sahil is able to hold on to his team's chances. Now Crosshair, he takes out Bondaf, and Pasha, he's down left with no time. Does exactly that, is able to find his third, take out Crosshair, but now is looking at his clone for this round. Just playing the time beautifully. Pasha Sahil realizes that Paradox is not going to give him any chance, just dashes out, trying to save the weapon, and that's the clutch picked up for Paradox. True Rippers making it 10-9.
Such a beautiful play from the side of True Rippers, and honestly, that execution was just so quick as well. Initially, I thought that, hey, maybe playing it a little bit more defensively would work out in their favor, but it feels as though the defensive playstyle coming on down from the side of KUCH, it's what's really hurting them. They need to try and force the issue just a little bit more. They're not establishing any form of map control. I'm just imagining a situation where players are pushing on down from the side of B main, making that push happen from the side of mid, push their way down forward, make that little bit of a difference, but it's just not there, and it feels as though this could be hurting them in the long run. But at the same time, it's a 3-stack down towards the side of C, ladies and gentlemen, and all the members of the side of True Ripper, they could just be running down into their deaths.
I do believe this is an eco with the exception of Pasha Sahil, who's picked up the operator, and he's pushing aggressively on A. So if they can just hold on, it will be huge. But Paradox making his way, and he's already picked up the one. Just the reaction timing from him is nuts. But Juven moving through the smoke, he gets one, and Pokey with another. Does not matter though, as Crosshair able to find one with the shock dart, and the trades come on out, making it a 1v3. Pasha Sahil last man standing, and with the operator in his hand, I really hope he goes for the save. He's actually trying to look for the exit frags, and with a quick scope, able to take Relic out. Now picks up the Blaze-Storm, trying to go for the clutch in this round. Not gonna check the cubby, and that's gonna cost him his life. Crosshair will take him out, and that's the op. Oh, actually, they elect not to pick up the op, so the op just 5,000 credits gone down the drain, and the Blade Storm. So at 11-9 aggressive next round, Pasha Sahil is not gonna have a buy, not gonna have a Blade Storm. This might be the decision that cost me the game.
This stage, things look dark for the side of KUCH. Here is where they need to make their stand. If they lose out here, as you just stated, no more buys moving on down forward in the next round. They have absolutely nothing to work with. And
Scanning ahead.
with their backs against the wall, KUCH will they falter under the pressure, or will they rise up to the challenge? And it feels as though they're gonna rise up to it. Fokies comes in for the sidelines, being able to take down one tap god, and with a beautiful ding down onto Paradoxes as well. No more HP to work with from their side, and this kind of playstyle could just be what they need to make that little bit of a difference. Understanding that, hey, we've established a lot of aggression, we are holding down the fort, and we have the man advantage in our favor. Let's just play it defensively. We have done a lot of damage. We have done what we can do. And if we play it slow, if we play it systematically, we're going to be the ones to win. Because now, for the side of True Rippers, they're going to be in a state of panic. They won't know where to run. They won't know where to hide. But at the same time, going up against a player like Paradoxes, you're going to be in a pretty big world of hurt, even if he's at only 24 HP.
Deploying drone.
Road coming out for Juven. He's trying to get as much information as he can. The True Rippers holding on to their positioning. They're just waiting. Now the Cosmic Divide for Poki, trying to cut off Sewers and Long. Means Paradox thinks he has to take matters into his own hands. Pulls out the place from trying to go for speed, but he ends up getting taken out. The rush from KUCH is there. They're all really, really low, but that's okay because they're able to pick up the kills, secure the round. That's going to be 11-10 on the board. KUCH keeping themselves alive. And I have to point something out, like at the start of the round, Meow willingly giving over the Vandal to Pasha Sahil and getting the Bulldog for himself, taking on the responsibility of being the safe passive anchor, allowing Pasha Sahil to be his own self, like go for these aggressive peaks, find the kills. The level of trust displayed between each other, those two teammates, absolutely huge, because as you saw, Pasha Sahil, he pays it off every single time, like getting those kills, opening up the round and making sure KUCH, they're still in it.
HP now, with them being able to win that one out, basically means that finally they're gonna be able to stabilize properly. They have the guns, they have everything in their arsenals to make this comeback happen. They cannot falter whatsoever, but it seems as though Paradoxes, he could be the first one to make that difference happen. Pondef, though, is going to be able to trade him on out. No one was expecting that sort of an aggressive push to come down from the side of Paradoxes, but all of his members are still holding on down from the side of A main. Him making that push, yes, it was really good, but at the same time, him getting traded on out before his team was able to enter down into a side, it just make things a lot more difficult for their end. At Pasha, he's slowly making his way down forward, but he's not taking the right angles. He's gonna pay the price for it. Red comes in with a swing as well as he takes off his hat and says, "Good day to you, sir." And with that, it's already going on down to a 3 versus 2 situation, CA. And honestly, things look way darker with that kill coming on down to the side of Pokies.
Meow lost his understanding. She finds one tap God, but one tap God, true to his name, 6 HP left, able to take her out. Meaning, match point picked up for True Rippers. I have to point something out. Like, I feel like this is what, the 5th round in the row that maybe I think all attacking rounds, with the exception of the first few in the pistols, True Rippers have gone to ace side, irrespective of how the round goes out, irrespective of whether they get the opening kill or the opening entry or not, they eventually end up going to ace side. And it makes me wonder, why aren't we seeing an aggressive push from KUCH on the other side of the map? And that's when I realized this round, it did happen. Like, Meow took information towards C-Long, but I maybe not convey to the team, because Pasha Sahil should not be moving up like that when he knows that there's nobody in C-Long, because it's likely they're camping towards that A-side area. That little bit of disconnect hurting them, but hey, we can't count them out. They were able to pull back at overtime last map itself, so we know they have the capability to do that again. KUCH adopting very defensive positions, aim the stack on C while they get aggressive information from Bondef on A, waiting for True Rippers to move in, but True Rippers themselves, way more passive than we expect them to be. It's almost like they're waiting for KUCH to make a mistake, but since that hasn't happened and time running out, it's really going to be up to True Rippers to make a play.
Slow passive play for the side of KUCH. It's what's giving them the advantage now down moving forward in this 5 versus 5 scenario. And it seems as though your prediction was right. Slowly but surely, the entirety of True Rippers, they're making their way down towards the side of A. They want to go towards that side. They are loving this side so much because they understand that, hey, with their composition, they're going to be able to go in for a hold properly. Pondef does get spotted on out, and he does get tagged down to only 75 HP. Doesn't have a lot to work with, but at the same time, Paradox is positioning his prime. And he knows for a fact that one member is holding down from the back end. He's going to be able to get one kill. He's looking for one more, but right behind him is going to be Pokies. The shots are not connecting. Pokies is still not getting the kill. 3 HP and a 3 Paradox. He's still alive. He's still kicking, and he's making the difference for his team right here And right now, he knows where Pasha is holding down from the back end. He's making his way down left. He's making his way down right. But Bondef comes in to finally shut him on down. There's not enough time. He needs to go for the running back. He needs to try and make a play. He needs to try and make the difference happen for his side. And he's going to be able to do it, ladies and gentlemen. The running back does find one kill. Pasha coming down from the side and being able to get another one. Relic, though, he's going to be in a pretty tough spot. He needs to go left. He's going to be able to find one more. But Bondef with the clutching in his veins. He's going to be able to shut down Relic. Take him out already with a 4K to end things off. And this is the Bondef that we know end of, ladies and gentlemen. 12 and 10 down to a 12 and 11. And Bondef, he's at the helm of it all. This is his world, and we are living in it. That is for sure.
Huge round from Bondef. The running back was so impactful in that round. Not only did he get the kill with it, but also created the space and the distraction necessary for Pasha Sahil to be able to move in and get another kill. 1v2 Relic just got unlucky. Like, in that position, he had to run because he had no idea if the defuse would go down. And it unlucky because both the members right there, they end up taking him out, making it 12 to 11. Such a round of emotions back and forth for both of the teams, but it's exactly what we expected. Aggressive. Do not count KUCH out. They are a team that refuses to give up. They are a team that is continuously determined to push all the way through and give it their very, very best. This is why we saw overtime in map 1, and this is why I think we're primed to see overtime in map 2, unless Paradox just goes ham.
Completely agree with you. And with this tactical timeout now coming on through for the side of KUCH, they're going to be able to collect themselves and just shake off the nerves from what happened in the last round. I'm pretty sure Bondef, he's ecstatic. He's like jumping around in his chair because this is not the first time he's able to get a clutch like this. Just look at map number 1. He got how many clutches? I can count 4 clutches, 4 4Ks to make the difference for his team. And an ace, to add on to that on the last map. He did the same thing here. He just got a 4K, got a clutch for his team, and with that, morale is going to be running high for the entirety of KUCH. They're going to ride the momentum created by Bondef to reach greater heights moving on down forward. And with this round now kicking on off, one more round for the side of KUCH to make it even Stevens, and one more round for the side of True Rippers to take it all away and send KUCH back down to the drawing board once again, taking that point lead onto their side. And the push now coming on through, all of the members of the side of True Rippers are making their way down forward. And I like this plan coming on down from the side of KUCH, being like, hey, we have the utility in our arsenal, let's just save all of it and hold it down for the retake scenario, because at this retake, we should be the ones at the advantage if we do not die out early. But oh no.
As you said it, oh no, Mobage, one tap got able to get the kill, but Koki gets a return, and now the neural tap to get all the information that they need. The Lear is used, but the dash updraft from Pasha, he gets one, but his own smoke blocking out one tap, meaning that he's able to get the reset. Just time for second, now looking for the dunk. It's 4-1 tap to finish it off. True Rippers will take the win. They're the first winners of the TEC Gauntlet Season 1 group stage, and they do it in an absolutely emphatic fashion. That has to hurt for Pasha. Aggressive, like his own smoke blocking one tap guard. Feels bad, man.
Honestly speaking, that play was just too good to be true at that stage. And this is why Reina is such an amazing agent. You have to give it to him. Because primarily when you look at Reina, you're like, hey, she doesn't have a lot of utility. What can she do? You give it to a person like One Tap God, and he's like, okay, just sit down. I'll show you exactly what I can do. Pops his Empress, and he's like, all right, oh, first kill, second kill, third kill, fourth kill. Shut everyone down. Take the round away for your side. 13 and 11 to end everything off. And honestly speaking, CA, I can't wait to see what's going to be coming on down forward from the side of True Rippers.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to talk about though for both of these teams going into this map particularly. So we will go over to the match highlights, look back to what are the small differences that we can see changing for both of the teams as they move forward into the group stage. This is just their first match in the group stage, and the fact that True Rippers start off with a win will be a lot of confidence for them. But for KUCH as well, like both of the maps going really close down to the wire, that is bound to give them some confidence. It's bound to make them think that, hey, maybe we made a couple of small mistakes, very small refinements that we can change up and really use just all the way through for the next time where we can get a win for ourselves and And for those things, I will say, like for quickly, I think it's just a little bit of disconnect in the forms. Like as you said, the timings are just a little bit off, not just in the utility usage, but also in the pushes, where the fragger might be going a little too early or the team coming a little too late. This sort of thing only comes through with practice. So I hope we will keep persevering as they have, and I'm sure they will come through stronger on the other side of it. But True Rippers though, like this is like your mini aggressive, tiny, just lethal ninja unit who is continuously pushing through. I hope they maintain their style. At the same time, they'll learn to sort of rein themselves in a bit as they can. They showed it in this map itself, so I'm sure they have a lot of promise.
Rippers, when it comes down to their mechanical prowess, they never fail to amaze me. And as you just stated, the primary problem with True Rippers is that they're aggressive, but at the same time, you need to know when to tone down that aggression. Like, being too aggressive basically makes it much more predictable, and in a lot of the rounds that they did lose out on was due to that predictable nature. And one more thing to add on to what True Rippers can do to make themselves even more potent, even more powerful, just pick up that Astro already. I know, Sharky, you love that omen, but just imagine having an Astro on your arsenal. You're gonna be having a lot more fun. Let's just say one gravity well pulling down everyone from one singular corner as soon as, let's say, Paradox just dives on in and down onto a side. That can make such a world of difference. And hopefully we're gonna see that Astro come out down more, moving on down forward into the other matches in the tournament from their side.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do.
right.
We have Apple joining us.
Yeah, Apple just came out of nowhere.
Because that best of three was just absolutely crazy, and watching you guys cast that. Now let's just take a little bit back of a trip to map number 1. The ending score was 15-13, and which players from either side, True Rippers or KUCH, you thought really stuck out to you? Because for me personally, Master coming in with that very aggressive 4K in that pistol round, that was crazy. And then both Paradox and Bond F, they managed to get an ace. What were the highlights for you in map number 1 in particular, CA?
I mean, like for me, it has to go to Paradox. Like the way he's able to dominate. But like on that note, like I think on the other side, like for KUCH, Bondef really stuck out as well. But for True Rippers, I felt like the solidarity in the team mainly came through because of Master. As you said, the consistency was there, and I'm glad that in the next his substitute was able to maintain that same level of gameplay.
All right. What about you? Which were the moments for you aggressive in map number 2, where it was a very close game as well, 13-11. You can see that True Rippers and KUCH, they were really at each other's throats. So for you, map 2, which were some of the highlights for you, aggressive?
For me, in map 2, personally, I will have to go down towards the side of Crosshair. And as he had just stated, his replacement coming on down for map number 2 really showed the brightest down here. That Sova pickup for the side of Crosshair, just so clean. Every single sheriff shot coming down from him, straight like a magnet to the head. Those bullets did not miss whatsoever. And he made the difference for his team. And I also have to give a lot of props towards the side of Relic. Yes, Relic didn't really have that much of an explosive showing when it came down to a lot of the kills. But when you look down at the map, the level of control that he established for his team really did show coming on down into the following matchup. Because you can see he's making a push down towards the side of C-Long, maybe making a small push towards the side of A, trying to use his camera to get some form of information to give his team that solidarity, being like, hey, no one's pushing down towards the side of A. You can go down towards the side of mid, make that difference there, keep the side of KUCH on their toes. And I'm really just giving the hands towards the side of Relics for the side of True Rippers. But if I go on down towards the side of KUCH instead, my MVP has to be Bondef. Like, come on, man. That guy just pulled off a 4K every single time, and he's just a clutch god in his own right.
And it's crazy, right? Because between, both these teams, usually when we look at the kills, it's kind of like one player goes down and then there's a return. It's kind of like kills that go one by one. But it was almost like in this best of 3, there were just random 3K pickups, double kills, 4K. Like it just happened very often. And I think, that allowed us to see Bond F really in a zone, because he performed absolutely insane. And Paradox as well on the side of True Rippers. So, both teams, they did extremely well. Unfortunately, KUCH, they're not going to take the win this time. Congratulations once again to True Rippers. Now, CA, I want to ask you this question. From this point forward, how do you think both these teams are going to move forward in the competition? Let's get your opinion on True Rippers.
Like for me, if for them now it's all just about they've proven that they have the aim, they've proven that they have the fundamentals of the game. Now it's about evolving their playstyle. Their identity is an aggressive team, but you need to take the aggression to a more tactical level. Like when I say that, I instantly think about Korean teams, the way they're continuously aggressive, but they're willing to make the aggression happen at opportune moments throughout the round. That really gives them the biggest advantage. That's what I want to see from True Rippers moving forward, because they definitely have the raw talent. Like this team is stacked not only as a 5-man roster, but as Crosshair proved, as more than a 5-man roster. They have active players who are ready to jump in whenever necessary and will take games by storm. So that to me speaks a lot about the entire squad as a whole.
All right. Now, same question to you, Aggressive, but this time about KUCH. How do you think they're going to progress forward in the tournament right now? I mean, it was their first match. Unfortunately, it was a loss for them. How do you think, they're going to pick up the pieces and continue to press on?
Which be if they want to come back from this, they need to understand to take this as a learning experience. Because you do have to remember, even if you get knocked out here, like not really knocked out, even if you lose out on this matchup, you're not really knocked out of the brackets yet. You still have a chance to come back even stronger and prove your worth in the following matchups. And hopefully they just pick up those pieces, as you just stated, understand what they were doing wrong. And primarily the main thing that they were doing wrong, in my eyes, is the utility usage. The conjunction of utility coming on down from the side of Pokies and Bondef, it was just not there. It felt as though Pokies, he was just playing his own game with that Astra, not really setting up his teammates with those gravity wells pretty much at that stage to try and make that little bit of a difference. It felt as though as soon as that gravity well went on through, there was no one to shoot down into that single crossfire. It felt as everyone was just doing their own thing, and there were no forms of team play and coordination when it came down to their raw utility. And hopefully they understand this and come back even stronger in the following matchup, because when it comes down to their raw aim, I'm pretty sure that we can all agree they are cracked out of the park.
All right. Yeah, it was indeed a very close best of three, very exciting as well. And I'm pretty sure that you guys enjoyed it. So once again, congratulations to True Rippers for taking this win. And it's only the beginning for KUCH. I'm going to look forward to seeing how they're going to perform throughout the course of this tournament. This is the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. We have come to the end of the first half, so do stick around. We'll have the second half starting not too long from now. So remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. Check out the links in the description. You're not going to regret that choice. And until then, remember to grab a snack, refresh yourself, and we'll see you guys for the second half. Stay tuned.
What's this?